From the Golden Bear Stadium, Jim Funderburg along with Chris Malenga, and it is the last home game of the season. It is the homecoming game for our Golden Bears tonight, Chris, and they have their work cut out for them.
Yes, they do. They have the Delta Panthers coming to town tonight, Jim, and Delta just doing very well this year in the league. They are 2-2. They're 4-3 overall, and next to Swanton, they're probably the toughest team the Golden Bears will face this year.
I would have to agree with you there, and I'll tell you, they're not the biggest team in the world. They only have 38 young guys on their football squad. 12 of them are freshmen, okay? So that means you only have 26 players basically out here, although I'm sure a freshman has been used a time or two, just like we have. But when you get into this football team, they have some ball players that can really go. Bailey Storeholder, the very first guy we probably need to talk about. That young guy runs very fast. And last year we saw him rip off a couple big long ones against us.
Yeah, that's something the Bears have to worry about. You know, their defense is tough, you know, but against the run, you can't let a guy like that get behind you and get into the second and third level. If safeties are tackling running backs, that's where we have some problems. So hopefully the Bears don't do that today. But then they also get not a very big passing team, but you know, especially on a night like tonight. But that means the offensive or the defense line's really gonna have to hold and make sure that those holes don't open up.
You know, they got some big old hosses on that defensive front of that offensive front. Nobody bigger than the Vetter kid, Chance Vetter, at 6'5" and 305 pounds. You know, this is a football team that now has a coach that was their wrestling coach, was a Delta grad and a wrestler at Delta, and they've had a spectacular wrestling program we know about. But a lot of these guys on this team, including Vetter, are just big-time wrestlers, too.
Yeah, they're big uglies.
Yeah, they are.
They get in the trenches on the line, and they open those holes for the running backs, and it's tough. You're going to have to make sure that you can stop those guys.
You're going to have to do something because that big offensive line that they have is going to try to open up some holes. And then they're going to try to find a way to get up the field on you. When you got guys like Jess Beverly, I know you brought the name Josh out. Josh Beverly's his big brother, and then they got a younger brother that's a sophomore. But Jesse Beverly kind of took over where his brother left off.
Yeah, it's like a dynasty. It's those different dynasties we have, on those different teams that we play. You know, we always see that name like, oh, there's another one of those guys, and Beverly's no slouch as well. Just like his brother, he's a good runner and is going to get into space and make things happen.
Yeah, he really will. So you don't have to worry about him passing the football all that much. They only pass it 8 or 10 times a game. Tonight, it's kind of chilly out here, as we notice down here on the field getting ready for homecoming. We're going to bring you all the homecoming festivities here today, but it's windy as the wind coming from our backs right now, so it's basically going from one end zone to the other end zone. What would you guess, Chris, 15, 18, 20 miles?
15, 18 miles an hour. And of course, I don't know if you caught this, Jim, but there's a frost warning for tonight. So it's going to get cold, especially when that sun goes down. We had some rain today and just wind, and it's varied today between nice, warm sun and like it is right now, cloudy skies, and it's going to just get cold. And hopefully the rain will hold off, but you're going to get down to those trenches and be cold, and every hit you get, it's going to hurt, and the football's going to be cold, and so it's just not a fun time to play a game.
Hard to believe we're down to 3 games now, this one and then 2 on the road. We go to PH and then Liberty. This season has gone extremely quick this year, but it's been a tough one for Coach Redhead and his guys.
It really has, and the thing to remember is that they're trying to build a program. This is 1 year, and there's some seniors on this team that are going to, have some struggles, and they're 0-7, and but he's building a program for the future, and you're going to hear from him here in a little bit. And I like one of his comments about how he says he's not going back to Florida, no matter what people say. He's up here, and I wonder if you might be rethinking that decision at about 7 o'clock tonight when it starts to get really dark and cold here. But they are building a program. They're trying to make things happen over the course of these several years, and growing pains. Every week you can get better. I think this week the key is to cut down on those penalties. You can't be shooting yourselves in the foot, especially against a team like Delta.
Yeah, boy, I'll tell you what, and that has been a problem between the penalties and the turnovers, the big mistakes at the wrong time. I mean, you can even have that many sometimes as long as you don't make them just after your guy broke one loose for 50 yards and now you're in scoring position on a football field.
Absolutely. I mean, it's just been the most inopportune times, penalties and turnovers and just mistakes.
Yeah, it has been. Well, it's going to be interesting. I'll tell you, we had one of the guys walk by a little while ago, one of the dads of one of the players here, and we'll let him become anonymous right now
until the game's over.
Unless maybe he's right, but the hopeful prediction here for tonight for some of the parents is that the Bears sneak one out tonight, 21-14. And boy, I'll tell you what, if they would do that, that might be the biggest win in this conference this year.
Absolutely. I mean, nobody's expecting Bryan to do well tonight. Nobody's giving him a chance, and you got to come out, you got to compete. Friday Night Lights, things change. See what happens.
And you know how it works the next 2 weeks. You go to PH, and you're already down a touchdown when you head to PH. It doesn't really matter how good they are, how bad they are. You always seem to be down a touchdown. And then you end things back at Liberty. And last week last year at Liberty, it was cold and rainy and nasty, and you got lucky and didn't go. But everybody else that was there just had a miserable night. And thank goodness our whole crew ended up in the press box. Greg showed us it's 50 degrees right now, and I would guess where it's heading down to freezing here maybe before we're done.
I would think so. And I think the wind chill right now has got to be, what, 32? The wind chill's 32? Oh, the low's 32. The wind chill's got to be in the 40s.
Yeah.
I mean, absolutely. It is chilly out here. My hands right now getting cold, and you're in shorts, so I don't understand that.
Well, these are my winter shorts, though. They're a little longer, okay, you notice. And so I'm in pretty good shape at that point in time. And, you know, we're doing just fine, but it is going to be a cold night. It would not be a night tonight where you're going to want to try to catch a lot of footballs or throw a lot of footballs because of the wind and the chilly conditions.
Absolutely not. It's going to be a run and grit it out and hit the line and try to make holes and try to get that running game in gear, and that's what it's going to have to happen. I'd love to know the status of some of our players. You know, Devontae Royster wasn't dressed that I saw.
Right, he was in street clothes.
You know, the backs, I don't know how the health is of our running backs, but
it looks
they're going to be needed tonight.
Yeah, Damon Belts is dressed tonight.
Okay.
You know, he sprained an ankle last week. Basically, Coach was on the fence as to whether he was going to play or not. And one thing Coach Redhead said is that he does not put his guys out if they're 60, 70%. Yeah. He wants them to be, you know, healthy. He wants them to be ready to go because he wants them for the next 2 weeks more than he just wants them for one game. So Damon is definitely dressed right now. We'll see how he reacts and how that ankle goes the colder it gets here tonight. But hopefully he'll be ready to go and be ready to play some football tonight.
They're going to need him, and they're going to need the line to step up tonight, both lines, and play tough.
Yeah, they really are. Well, I'll tell you, it looks like they're starting to line up and everything for homecoming festivities. They're over in the tunnel right now. Should we be taking a break? I don't really, without a clock in front of me right now, I don't know where we're at.
How's that?
Let's take
a break and we'll be back. You got to talk to Coach. We'll take a break and come back after this with more here on BMU TV.
Coach, let's hit on one thing about the league here real fast, because I am almost of the opinion that that's kind of the story of our league this year. I mean, you see a team plays really well one week and falls down on its face the next week and plays really good for a week or two. This entire league seems like it's a little bit young, a little bit inexperienced, okay, going through some growing pains. And so anybody in Bryan that thinks they're having frustrations at this point in time, for my money, watching this, I mean, go around the league. Nobody in the NWAL this year, other than Swanton, are probably going anywhere because we're all going through the same process.
Yeah, definitely. You know, Archbold played Wauseon 14-7 the week before we played them.
Yeah.
You know, and they played them tough, and we played them tough, and you know, a lot of the teams that we played do have quite a bit more seniors playing than we do.
Right.
You know, so they're going to graduate a lot, and we're going to bring a lot back. You know, so we're going to be at an advantage. But you know, it has been a roller coaster for a lot of teams. You know, when Archbold went and beat PH, you know, there's some different things that are happening. You're going, wow, you know, that's a little surprising. So, you know, we have to remember these are kids. They're
they are
14, 15, 16, 17-year-old kids, and you know they're going to give us everything they have, but they're going to make mistakes, and you know we just got to coach and correct the mistakes and get them believing and playing.
You know, that's one thing that I want to address too. When you get to this point in the season, you get fans that are a little frustrated. You start to hear some chirping out of the stands and everything. I've got an 84-year-old mother who goes to most all the football games she can, and when she hears that in the stands, she's the first one that runs over and says, "Don't you know these are 14 and 15-year-old kids and they haven't stopped trying. They're still working real hard out there." And I've always been appreciative of that out of her, because that's what they are. You know, we try to make them to be pro athletes and gods, but they're not. They're 14, 15-year-old kids under a lot of pressure, trying to learn, trying to work real hard. And from everything I've seen Monday through Thursday out here, these guys haven't given up on the practice field. They're just learning still.
Yeah, and you know, it's still, we're getting our, you know, some kids are gotten tremendously better since the start of the season. That's all we can ask them. You know, I'm not moving back to Florida. I know I heard that a couple of times. Go back to Florida. I'm not going anywhere.
Attaboy.
You know, I mean, I'm here to stay, and you know, it's going to turn, it's going to change because I've done it before and I know the formula and how we need to do it.
Yeah.
And with kids that'll work hard, we can change that. You know, the coaches are still working, the kids are working, you know, we can get there. You know, it's just, you know, we're doing the best we can, and you know, we want to do better for our town and our families and our team, and that's the thing. That's our motivation right now, is for the pride, and for Bryan, and you know, they're giving all they got.
Yeah.
And you know, when we didn't play very well, and I told them, I said, this is on us, and we need to own it, you know, and we need to get better and play better. But you know, at the end of the day, it's a game.
Yeah,
you know, and they play it because it's supposed to be fun, and I want them to have fun. You know, it's serious, but we want to have fun.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Homecoming, you got Delta coming to town. First of all, homecoming, distractions from the homecoming process. Fun, you kind of got fall all of a sudden. This isn't your Florida homecoming by any stretch of the imagination.
Different.
Yeah. But does it distract anything throughout the week, Coach?
Not much. You know, the biggest thing is, you know, when we come to practice, it's work time. And as long as we get the work done out here, you know, we'll be okay. There's a few, you know, distractions on Friday night with kids being out on court and things like that. But, you know, we can manage that. And, you know, we just get the kids the adjustments we make at halftime when they come in for a few minutes, and we can make it work.
Yep.
You know, this is my, I don't know, 28th homecoming.
Yeah,
so I can make it work.
No rookie doing that.
All right.
Delta's coming to town. What's it going to take to make this thing happen this week?
Well, penalties and turnovers. Those are the two things we can't do. You know, we progressed in our offense a little more, so we've got some good things coming out, and hopefully we can run them. You know, biggest thing is we can't have personal fouls and we can't have holdings.
Yeah.
You know, those two things killed us on Friday night and took us out of every single good position we could have been in. We had a huge drive that we would have been down on the 5, and we had a holding penalty.
Yeah.
You know, on a long run, we just have to play smart heads-up football. You know, and keep in it. And you know, as long as we can keep in it, we can win it. You know, but the big thing is we just can't lose our heads.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Well, good luck to you.
Thank you.
We'll talk to you next week. That's going to do it for Extra Point this week, brought to you by Tompkinson BMW. If it's Friday night, you've got football on BryanSports.com.
Tea Garden. The class honored with the title of Best Float received 30 points towards their endeavor to win homecoming week. The floats are located outside the main gates of the stadium. Please take a moment to see the effort exemplified by each class. The float built by the class of 2018 finished 4th with their title of Punt the Panthers. Coming in 3rd place with their float entitled Roast the Panthers was the class of 2016. In 2nd place was Punish the Panthers by the class of 2019. And the class earning 1st place was the class of 2017, naming their float Pound the Panthers. Congratulations to each class for their time and effort, and a respective thank you to our judges. In spite of a shortened week due to Columbus Day, this year's rally week did not lack in spirit. The week began with the annual class competition of Ultimate Frisbee, class cheer competition, cookout, and bonfire. The week continued with BHS's traditional dress-up days. Tuesday was salad dressing day. Wednesday was sports day. The hallways were filled with various teams. Thursday was retro day. BHS rewinded multiple decades back as classrooms were filled with a multitude of different eras. Finally, today was Spirit Day. This morning, the band, cheerleaders, and athletes toured the school district spreading the Golden Bear spirit. In the afternoon, the most anticipated pep rally of the year took place. Students cheered on their respective classes in various competitions such as tug-of-war, lip-sync, dodgeball, relays, and many more activities. This year's overall winning class for Rally Week was the class of 2016. Congrats, seniors. The evening will be a culmination of the week and years past as our spirit is heard and seen throughout the Golden Bear Stadium. I'd like to move forward to one of the most anticipated aspects of the evening and introduce Olivia Tusco to announce the Homecoming Court of 2014. Thank you.
The freshman attendant is Emily Hulbert. She is the daughter of Scott and Carrie Hulbert. She has one sister, Lily. Emily loves to hang out with her friends and sing. After high school, she wants to attend Liberty University in West Virginia. When asked what animal she would be and why, she said, "I want to be a cat. because the bigger you are, the more people love you. She picked Mac as her escort because he is her best friend and she doesn't know what she would do without him. Emily's escort this evening is Mac Mackey. He is the son of Jim and Chris Mackey. Mac has a little brother, Nick. He is involved in orchestra at BHS. Mac enjoys playing the guitar and riding his motorbike. Mac also would like to be a cat when he was asked what animal he'd like to be because they can climb trees and they are very fast. The sophomore attendant this evening is Allie Boyer. She is the daughter of Chip and Amy Boyer. She is the big sister of Ryan. Allie is a member of the tennis team for Bryan and is involved in FCA and Interact. She also dances at Bryan Community School of Dance. In her free time, she likes to hang out with friends and watch movies. After high school, Allie plans on attending college and focusing on the medical field. When asked what animal she'd like to be, she responded, a cat, because they are cuddly and take long naps. Allie chose Jonathan as her escort because they have been close friends since the first grade and they have many common interests. Allie's escort this evening is Jonathan Roberts. He is the son of Chris and Jeanette Roberts. He has two older brothers, Mason and Ethan. Jonathan is involved in chamber strings, the orchestra, and the fall play. He's a member of the cross country and swim team. Jonathan would like to be a dolphin because they are intelligent and they swim a lot. Kate Winsler is the junior attendant. Kate is the daughter of Kip and Lisa Winsler. She has two siblings, Sydney, who attends Miami University, and Spencer, who is a sophomore at BHS. Kate loves playing soccer, exercising, being with her friends, and laughing. She is a member of the National Honor Society and plays varsity soccer. After high school, Kate wants to attend college and become a chiropractor. When asked what animal she'd like to be, Kate said, I would want to be a dog, because who doesn't love dogs? And because they sleep a lot. Kate chose Atlin as her escort because they have been friends for a long time and he's pretty cool. Kate's escort this evening is Atlin Salat. Atlin is the son of Kwan Salat and Kanita Salat. He has an older sister, Anna, who attends Ohio University. Atlin is a varsity soccer player and likes to play chess with his great friend, Elliot Pittman. The animal Atlin chose to be was a raven because he would be able to fly and they are very intelligent. The senior attendant this evening is Riley Sabins. She's the daughter of Ben and Carly Sabins. She has an older sister, Tess, who attends BGSU. Riley plays on the girls' basketball team for Bryan and is in the orchestra. She enjoys being with her friends and at the lake. When asked what animal she'd like to be, she said a cat. She chose Jarrett as her escort because he is nice and they have been great friends for a long time. Oh my God, you've got to be kidding me. I lost my page. My page fell out. Like, it blew out. I have an extra one. Yeah, I have my, it's in the missing, like, I have it. Oh, this is so annoying.
You got it.
It blew out.
It's the one that's marked up.
Okay, all right. Riley's escort this evening is Jarrett Pittman. He is the son of Tyler and Jill Pittman. Jarrett has 4 younger siblings, Zach, Cole, Gavin, and Lily. He is a member of NHS, the swim and baseball team, and plays the trumpet in the band. In his free time, you can find Jarrett longboarding or hanging with his friends. Jarrett would like to be a horse because they are free-spirited. It is my honor to introduce one of my great friends and your 2015 Bryan High School homecoming queen, Elizabeth Heward. Elizabeth is the daughter of Scott and April Heward. She is the big sister to her 4 siblings, Grace, Owen, Claire, and Anna. Elizabeth enjoys being with her family and spending time with her friends. She is always trying new things. Elizabeth is the president of the senior class. She is also involved in FCA, NHS, Interact, and is Kiwanis Student of the Month. Elizabeth has participated on the tennis team throughout her high school career. She plans on attending college and majoring in communications. Elizabeth would like to be a dolphin because she loves to swim and they are beautiful creatures. She would like to thank her longtime friend, Elliot Pittman, since their homeschool days, for being her escort tonight. Elizabeth's escort this evening is Elliot Pittman. Elliot is the son of Mark and Renee Pittman. He has 2 older sisters, Maddie, who attends Moody Bible Institute in Washington, and Anna, who attends Harding University in Arkansas. He has 1 younger sister, Leah. Elliot is a part of the varsity soccer team and the varsity tennis team. He also plays chess with his good friend, Atlin. He wants to be an eagle because they are fly.
Joining us tonight is the former homecoming queen, Julia Stuyvesant. Julia is currently attending Bowling Green State University. She's escorted by Cale Ponzak, who is a student at The Ohio State University. Julia is here to present the homecoming crown to Elizabeth, our new queen. The Golden Bear football captain, David Rummel, will present Elizabeth with the traditional commemorative coin. If he has enough luck, he may just receive a good luck kiss from our queen.
Congrats, President.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Elizabeth Heward, and I am honored to be your 2015 homecoming queen. I am proud to represent a great school and community. Our school has come together this week to make our last homecoming at BHS one to remember. Whether it was a cheer competition, the dress-up days, or the assembly earlier today, students have shown their great school spirit in class all week long. After tough competition all week and many close scores, I would like to congratulate the seniors for winning homecoming to the 15. Thank you to all the fans, alumni, and parents for coming out to support the Golden Bears, and good luck to the football team, and go Bears.
We would like to take this time to dearly thank all those involved in the success of Homecoming 2015. On behalf of all Bryan High School students, I would like to thank Artisan Floral for providing the Queen's Bouquet, the custodians for transporting the floats, Mr. Ospaw and Mr. Rary for approving Spirit Week, arranging the assembly, organizing Monday night's cookout, and rallying the students in school spirit, the teachers who judge multiple events, the class officers, student council, cheerleaders, football players, fans, the great city of Bryan, alumni, and all others who contributed. Homecoming is simply not homecoming without you. Elizabeth, congratulations to you and your court. We thank you all for joining us this evening.
Back out of Golden Bears Stadium, it's Bryan versus Delta. Homecoming festivities are over, and we're excited for this one here on BMU TV. Chris Malanga and Jim Funderburg along with you, and Delta comes to town. They are currently 2-2 in the NWOAL, 4-3 overall in the league. Bryan 0-4 in the league, 0-7 overall. It's going to be a tough night for the Golden Bears tonight. Delta, no slouch. Other games going on in the NWOAL tonight. Liberty Center is at Archbold. Swanton at Wauseon. Delta at Bryan, of course, and Patrick Henry at Evergreen. And so 4 good games tonight in the NWOAL. That LC Archbold game should be good, especially the other game especially should be good tonight is Swanton at Wauseon, Jim.
Well, you know, that's going to tell you an awful lot about Swanton tonight, because they're running out of guys who are really going to push them, I would think, this year. The only other game that they've got ahead of them at this point is that very last one, and that's against the guys we're getting tonight, the Delta Panthers. But, yeah, Wauseon, from what we saw of Wauseon and what we saw of Swanton, my guess right now would be that Swanton team's a 3-touchdown favorite over Wauseon here tonight if they played the way that they played against us. I thought we played about as well as we played all year that night, but at the same time not overly impressed with that Wauseon team, and that was very impressed with Swanton when they came to town here a few weeks ago and kind of ran us around the track a couple of times. So, yeah, that'll be an interesting ball game, and again, it all could come down for Swanton as far as being undefeated, maybe all the way down to the last week of the football season when they will host Delta in what will be week number 10. And a lot of us, I think, at that point in time thought maybe that was going to be for all the marbles, but Delta, with a couple of losses already here this year, I think it surprised me a little bit. I thought they would be a little bit stronger.
Yeah, and they were the guys that were, picked to be one of the people. And actually, we're going to send it down to the band for the national anthem.
All the athletes and coaches, as we honor our great country with the playing of our national anthem.
Welcome back here at Golden Bear Stadium. Jim Funderburg along with Chris Malingo on a Friday night. Last time for the season here at Bryan Golden Bear Stadium, Chris. And it's hard to imagine that we're already that far into the season as the Bears head out towards the middle of the football field here, and they wait for the Panthers to join them there for the handshake as we head close to the kickoff tonight. Let's go back in time just a little bit with this thing, Chris, because you go back, Delta beat Wauseon 20-14 in week number 4, basically, to get everything started. They lost to Patrick Henry 22-14, which was a surprise ball game that night. Patrick Henry, we get them next week, and who knows how good these guys are, but we'll get a chance to see them up close and personal. Then Liberty got them 31-21. And after that, basically, then they've won 2 more in the conferences. They took a win over Evergreen 45-26, and then this week they come into Bryan to play Bryan this evening. And I don't know, it's been an interesting season for the Delta Panthers, and I think Coach Jeff
and going to kick
probably
away from the scoreboard. Okay, good luck, gentlemen.
So there you go. Delta
Delta won the
deferred.
toss and deferred.
But Coach Jeff Wolford coming in here this year basically had his hands full. He's only got 38 kids on the football team. So if you look across the way right now, there are not a lot of white jerseys standing across the football field from us. The guys that they have and the guys that they'll put on this field tonight are some pretty doggone good athletes. When you take a look at Noah Parsons, a young guy who basically is the number 3 passer in the conference this year, 5 touchdowns and an interception. Only thrown for 490 yards, though, completes about 41% of his passes, 26 for 63. But he's a very athletic guy. He's 6'2", he's 210 pounds. Bailey Stolholder that we talked about earlier, a running back who is just lightning quick. Then Jesse Beverly and Justin Martini. Martini is a wide receiver / running back. These guys, again, they're going to run that wing tee at you with a lot of misdirection. And once
Delta
you
always does.
Yeah, get a little space out there in the open field, and the next thing you know, some of the speed that they have on that football field has been known to go from one end of the football field to the other end of the football field in a big hurry.
We're going to have to watch because there's streamers that are on the stands that are on the field, and they're yellow, so we may have to be careful. Make sure there's no flags there. Calling flags there's not.
Jones and Keller will drop back deep.
Just a moment, we'll get your sponsors bringing you the game tonight, too.
And this ball game is just about to be underway as the Panthers will kick it off. And it will be Jones that will run up and field it at the 20 and stumble and fall down at the 23-yard line. And that is where the Bears will have the football first down and 10. So the ball game tonight being brought to you by the Bryan Athletic Boosters, by Bryan Ford Lincoln, Bryan Municipal Utilities, Genesis Healthcare, Bryan Center, Grill Funeral Home, Northwest State Community College, Oberlin Turnbull Funeral Home and Crematory, the Plaza Motel, Tompkinson BMW, and Whelan's Automotive. And we thank them for all of the support that we've had from them all year long. Let's see. We're going to start in the backfield here tonight. I think I can't see the number. I don't think that's Peters, though, that's back there at this point in time. And I don't think Damon Belts is going to play tonight. They were talked about somebody entirely different. This will be a pitch to a flanker, and we'll go around that left corner. And that's David Rummel from a flanker spot going around the end. And that is that 32 out there again?
I think it might be Oliphant.
No, I think we've gone back. We've got one of our guys back here tonight, I believe. Let me grab my roster here real quick. So it will be first down. They got about 4 yards on that first down carry. It'll be second down now and about 6 for the Bears. A little misdirection tonight as they put doubles to the top and doubles to the bottom, and they're bringing the flanker in motion, turn and hand off to the running back, and he'll be up across the 30 to about the 31-yard line, and I believe that's John Rittenhouse back in the ball game, 32.
Yep, it is.
So there you go. I had to dig back and pull a name in from the past here for a little while, and it's Rittenhouse that is on the field right now. It's slow to get up, but back up and going, and it's good to have John back in because Damon Belts at the end of the game last week twisted an ankle. Now here comes Belts onto the football field, and Rittenhouse comes to the sideline. Looks like he's still just pulling the grass out of his helmet. It almost looks like he maybe got a little turf, or maybe some of those little yellow streamers up in his helmet right there, Chris. But he's got something that he's working on as he gets to the sideline. And Damon Belts now will come in. Quarterback in a pistol look with a running back to his left, doubles to the top, doubles to the bottom. And they'll go straight forward. And that's Novus, who's trying to get that first down, but runs right into the defensive front. And I think he's going to be short as Novus goes off left end for a pickup of about a half a yard. And it'll be fourth down still and about a yard for the Bears. And the Bears will send the kick unit out. 4th down at about a yard for the Bears. And you know how many times have we faked this one this year as Damon Belts comes in, and he'll be one of those wing blockers up front. And we have snapped that short all year long. And let's see if they'll do it right here to open up this ball game. Bears moved, and that whatever they had in mind will not work now as they kind of came
Number
off there.
28, 5-yard penalty. Repeat 4th down.
Drew Lockhoff was the young man that was lined up as kind of one of the wing protectors right behind the line of scrimmage, and he leaned forward just before the ball was snapped. And that'll set up now 4th down at about 6, and the Bears will kick this football away. Jones with a good snap gets this away. Nice big kick that will hit around the 35-yard line and bounce and be down to the 26-yard line of the Delta Panthers. And that was Bailey Stolholder back there waiting on that kick. And the young guy, I think, was having a little problem maybe judging that one in the wind here to get started. That opening kick, always, you got to see where it's going to go, Chris.
Yeah, and that wind is big up there.
It's a nasty, nasty night here in Bryan. Just underway, Delta with football now. 1st down and 10 if the Bears go 3 and out. Noah Parsons will be their quarterback. Bailey Stolholder and Jess Beverly will be the 2 primary running backs for them, and they put number 9 Stolholder over here on the left wing, kind of facing towards the sideline. They'll turn and hand off, and the first run of the evening will be Jess Beverly, and Beverly will spin and get forward to about the 31, maybe the 32-yard line. So give him about 6. Bears defense in, but after a pickup of about 6.
Weather at kickoff, 47 degrees, feels like 41. Winds are out of the northwest at 15 miles an hour. Steady, and we're seeing gusts up to 24. And we're going to see, hopefully not see any rain tonight.
Straight T look right now, and they turn and hand it to 22, Dylan Rogers. And Rogers is get very small gain, if any, as he tries to go off left tackle, and the Bears right there to knock him down. Farrell, one of the guys there. So a pickup of about a yard will leave the Panthers at 3rd down and a long 1. Farrell also had a little help with a couple other Bears, but he was the first guy there on that stop. 3rd down and 1 now for the Panthers, who again go into the T. Dive play, ball's loose. Bears had it and lost it, and I think Delta fell on it with enough progress to pick up the 1st down as 22, Dylan Rogers gets on it. Ball popped loose. A couple of Bears had an opportunity to pull it in, but they couldn't find the handle. And before everything was over and done with, the ball was laying at the 36-yard line, and number 22 fell on it, Dylan Rogers. So Rogers recovers the fumble for a pickup of a couple and enough for the 1st down. Get back with this 3-back T look here as they got all backs standing in a 2-point stance in the backfield. Stolholder with the ball, and they shoot the gap and knock him down, and I believe that was Dylan Wagner that got him. 55. Nice little article in the Bryan Times the other day with Dylan's picture on it, Chris, and Wagner with a big tackle for a loss of about 3 on Stolholder. Bailey Stolholder can't go anywhere, Chris, if you got him by both these ankles.
Yes,
that's the important
very
thing,
difficult.
Right? So far, so good for this Bryan defense, and look like they're kind of revved up and ready to play some football tonight. Got 5 guys on the line of scrimmage now, 4 linebackers, and they're all bunched at the line of scrimmage. And the quarterback Parsons with the keeper out around the left end. He's got some yardage at the 40. He'll run out of bounds, and we have a flag.
I think we're going to see a face mask offensively. As he came around the corner, he stuck his hand out, and I think he got into the face mask.
Brandon Farrell is the young guy that made the tackle, and if it does go the way that you're talking, he would have been the guy that had the handful of Parsons.
Face mask penalty, 22.
Oh, wow.
It's going to go the other way.
I don't know about that. That's a terrible call right there.
So that will go against the Bears instead of for the Bears. March the football to the 45-yard line.
He stuck his hand right in his face as he came around.
2nd down and about 2 yards right now. The 5-yard penalty.
Picked up 4 on the carry.
Got a 5-yard minor infraction for the face mask. Storeholder here, the back that's looking towards his sideline on the flank. They'll turn it and hand the football off. I believe that's Beverly, right tackle. He has room into Bears territory down to about the 40-yard line. In fact, that was 24 Jesse Beverly with the run. And that'll be a first down. And it was Jake Kuba on the stop for the Golden Bears. So Delta now starting to get that offense in gear thanks to a couple of penalties here. With the 7:40 mark here in the first quarter, they have the football, first down and 10, first time now in Bears territory. Getting the 3 running backs set up in a T formation. Storeholder, right tackle, has room, 35, and then he gets stood up right there at the 35-yard line. Give him 5 yards. Luck. Hausch and Garza on the stop for the Bears, but not before the pickup was about 6. It's second down and 4. Hit the 7-minute mark here this first quarter. No score, just joining us right now on Golden Bears football tonight. And again, Delta in that straight T look with the 3 running backs right behind the quarterback Parsons, and he will fake and roll to his left. Stop, look down to the middle of the football field. He's got his receiver. That's Devin Richard, and Richard will be ahead inside the 25 to about the 23-yard line. Parsons with a little bit of a fake on that dive, and then the roll out towards the home side, stopped and found the big guy. And I'll tell you what, he's a good-sized fella at 6'1" and 260 pounds, Chris. You know, it kind of reminds you of the boys from Wauseon a couple of years ago, the Mueller brothers. So the first down, we'll have the Panthers inside the 25, ball on the 23-yard line. And now they'll go with that wing look, put Storeholder on the left side. Before everything gets started, we have a procedure call that will go against the Panthers. Something got a little goofed up right there. It looked like the offensive line was not on the same count.
Eagle snap on the center, 5 yards, still first down.
So 5 yards to make it first down at 15. Nice to have the mic tonight, huh?
Yeah. He's actually turning it on before he speaks.
Gotta like that. Well, we got the officials' names over there, so you want to. We'll probably want to run those down here for a
Don
minute,
Heaston is your official referee. Doug Kutzley is the umpire. Eddie Norrells, the linesman. Tom Ballas, the line judge, and Greg Lawrence is the back judge.
Parson will pitch to Beverly around the right end, and he's got room to the sideline. Inside the 20, down to the 15, pokes his head out of bounds down around the 13, 16-yard line. They're going to say he stepped out of bounds, actually. He ended up down around the 13, but they said he stepped out back on the 16, so a couple of yards short of that first down stick. It'll be second down now at about 3. Parsons, you know, he's not really a throwing threat, Chris, but he can run the football, and he does a nice job with this wing T look. Now they got the 2 wings, one on both ends, and just the single running back in the backfield, and they'll turn and hand it to Beverly, and Beverly spins through the right side, down across the 15. He'll land this time close to that first down marker. We're just going to have to wait and see where they spotted him. It'll be third down and a couple inches.
It's just a smidge short.
Could be that, is that foot-long description there of yours, or is that a little longer or a little shorter?
I think it's almost a full yard.
Okay, so it's close to a full yard. Third down and 1. Obviously, 2 down territory down here for the Panthers if they decide they want to go that way. 2 running backs in the backfield, 1 wing here on the visitor's side now. Parsons steps away from the center, now goes back underneath of it. Turns, hands on the straight dive play. Bears with some decent penetration, but the middle of the pile just keeps moving forward. And the end result will be a first down, a couple of yards, maybe 3.
Is that Beverly again?
Spot the ball down on the 11. Yep, Beverly again. You know, the coach basically says that he's his muscle guy, you know. Storeholder's the slash and dash type of runner, and Beverly is the type of guy you hand him the ball and just let him grind it out, much like Damon Belts on our side. Good-sized fellow that likes to carry the rock here several times on a Friday night. Double running backs again in the backfield. They'll pitch to Beverly. He'll sweep right side, cuts it back inside the 10, down to about the 9. Maybe he got the 8. We'll just have to see where the pile ends up.
Beverly with 41 yards rushing on this drive.
Matt Harold in the game made the tackle for the Golden Bears. The pickup was about 3, so it's second down at about 7. Ball down on the 9-yard line, so they can get a first down around the 3. Okay, go back to that T look. Beverly in the middle, Parsons under center. They're headed to the back, running back, and he'll be down to about the 5. I believe that was 22, Dylan Rogers. And Chance Taylor makes the tackle for the Bears. So give him about 4, Chris, I guess.
Yep.
Third down and 3, ball just inside the 5-yard line. And they've got to go close to the 2 for the first. They'll come back in that wing look again with 2 running backs in the backfield and the 1 wing back on the home side facing the visitor side. They'll turn and they'll hand it off to Beverly, and Beverly goes forward for a yard. He'll be close to the first down, but a late flag right in the pile, and we've got a chop block against the Panthers that's going to bring this back and make it a bit more of a challenge for this offense.
Made on the play by number 21, Jacob Hausch.
Hausch makes the tackle for the Bears. The pickup would have not gotten the first down, I don't believe, but it would have been close.
Number 22 on the offense, 15 yards, replay, third down.
So the sophomore Dylan Rogers gets the call there for the chop block.
That's 20 yards of penalties on this drive alone.
So far they've been able to overcome them. Let's hope that the Bears can stiffen right now and get this football back. It is third down and a bunch.
16, 17.
Again, back to that T look. Fake the run, drop the throw. Parsons down to his big tight end, and he's got him inside the 5-yard line, down close to the 2. It's Devin Richard again, and I'll tell you, when they need a big throw and catch, the big fella does seem to have the ability to get open, and he is one big target, and they've got it first down and goal now inside the 2, close to the 1.
16-yard pickup on that one, Jim.
So that's not a that's not a big plus, Chris. You know, it was third down and a bunch, and they got the bunch plus 1.
They did.
Beverly, again, the only running back down the backfield as they put wings on both ends. They'll turn and hand to Beverly, and he'll get stood up right in the middle of that defensive line. It looked like it was Lucas Nye that was there to make the tackle, number 4. And
I'm going with no gain.
Big fella from Delta really got back to the line of scrimmage, second down and goal from the 1. Well, you got to believe that these Bears are fired up tonight for homecoming. Last time they get to play in front of their home crowd here on a Friday night here this year. Panthers go back to that T look now. Parsons under center, and he'll call his own number, and I think he squirts in between the center and the right guard. Signal is good for the touchdown, and just like that, the Delta Panthers are up tonight 6-0 with 2:26 to play here in the first quarter.
With both these teams wanting to run first, this game could be quick.
Yeah, it could be a very quick ball game. You know, the one bad problem right now for the Bears is they do have the wind at their back at this moment, but this first quarter's almost run out. So if they do want to throw the football, it's going to be tougher, I think, throwing it from the direction that they're about to go to rather than the direction that they're coming from. Evan Vasquez is their kicker. He's on for the extra point. The placement is good, but the Bears in, and they blocked it. And I believe that was Farrell, 35, that got that one. Clayton Farrell got in and knocked that one down. And the Delta Panthers are only up 6-0 with 2:26 to play here in the opening quarter on BryanSports.com. At about the 43-yard line, and the Bears will have some pretty good field position. They'll say he stepped out at the 41.
We'll take it.
But still, the Bears with a nice return, and Kuba with a nice job to get that football and set it up for the Golden Bears offense. Maybe that will be the break that the Bears need to get this thing off the launching pad here tonight, Chris.
That'd be nice.
Good to see that
Rittenhouse back in the backfield.
John's back there. It looks like he's healthy and ready to go, and he's standing to the left now of Kuba. They will send man in motion, and they will sweep and pitch the ball finally to David Rummel. But by the time it gets done, there's way too many white shirts in the backfield, and Rummel had no place to go but backwards, and he will lose about 6 yards on that carry. That was an option play that just took way too long to develop.
Yep.
And allowed the Delta Panthers really to respond and react and penetrate that line. And I'll tell you what, when you start to take a look at the big fellows that are up front on that defensive front, that Chance Beller, 66, Chris,
He is a big guy.
Big boy sitting in there at that left tackle spot.
He came walking by as we were doing pregame. It's like, whoa.
6'5", 305 pounds. That's when you go get your buddy Chris Bryce to come in and help
You're
us.
going to get, I think you're going to get offsides here as they were lined up in the neutral zone.
Delta got a little bit anxious. They were going to try to put some pressure right up the middle of that line. And I think the other
defense, number 66, 5-yard penalty, second down.
How do you like that? We call the dude's name, and then he
and he comes pounding his way right into the silver screen, doesn't he? Huh? Well, I'll tell you, you've got two big guys right in the center because that Devin Richard, then the other young guy that's 6'1" and about 260 pounds. And I think it was actually 86 who plays middle linebacker.
That's who I thought came through.
That was actually, they should have called it on. I think 66 stayed where he was supposed to be. 86 got there a little bit early. Pitch right side, Rummel again. He's going to get up across the 45-yard line. Got pulled down by the back of that shirt and possibly the back of those shoulder pads. No flags on the football field, and the Bears will be forward for about 5 yards. So a pickup of there, give them 4. Third down now and 6.
Well, I think he picked up 6, Jim. He was behind the first down marker.
Well, that's right. He was. We lost him, but he got more than that because we got bounced for 5. Didn't
6. He got 6, I think, 6 or 7.
Again, sweep to the left.
Oh, goodness.
Here comes a lot of pressure. Tossed down into the flat is complete, but we've got a flag in the backfield, and that again was just a situation where there were almost as many white shirts as purple shirts in the backfield. So I think they'll probably decline this one as they just basically get back to the line of scrimmage.
Number 51 on the offense, 10 yards, replay third down.
Wow, they took it. I would just, wow.
Field position, man. That's exactly.
Yes.
Okay, do we let them kick from their 45-yard line, or do we run them all the way back to their 29-yard line, give them a third down over again? So let's make them eat their words right now in their decision. 26 ticks left in this first quarter. Bears send doubles to the top and the bottom. Sigel running back in the backfield. Kuba sends a flanker in motion towards the home side. That's Josh Jones. And now Kuba will cut the opposite direction and throw it across the middle. He's got a receiver, and that is Blues Creek. And Creek will be across the 40, close to the 44-yard line. It will not be enough for a first down, but it gets almost that entire penalty back, and it will give the Bears basically the same position almost to kick this ball away from, and that will probably do it for the first quarter.
That was Kuba that threw that pass?
No, I'm sorry, man. That
Novus.
was Novus. I keep wanting to every now and then the Kuba Novus, the dreaded Kuba Novus this year is what we got it. How's that? Yeah, that was Novus throwing the ball.
Yeah,
I think Jake played. Did Jake play a little quarterback last year?
I think he did.
In my mind, that was the guy that was going to play quarterback this year all year long.
You're right.
Fighting that between he and Blues, and then all of a sudden we didn't bring a Kuba Flash Blues Creek combo together this year. We brought the young Mr. Novus up as a sophomore, and I apologize, as I've had to do so many times, for the one living brain cell and the infamous Kuba Novus disease that's hit me here in 2015.
I will tell you, it's a good timeout by the Bears because they have the wind at their back to punt this ball.
Yeah, probably a really good decision. So Josh Jones will come in and drop back to kick from his 30-yard line. Bailey Stolhalder will drop back deep, and he will stand and wait on this kick somewhere around his 30. steps back inside to about the 28-yard line, and I don't think he understands the way that Josh could kick this ball because this one's going over his head. Good snap, good kick.
Yeah, he's
Storeholder's got to run backwards. This ball kicks past him down the sideline, inside the 5.
Why would he
He'll
pick
pick
that
it up?
up?
At the goal line. He's inside the end zone.
That's dumb.
Just got outside at about the 1, and the Bears.
No, safety.
Nope, they're going to call it a safety.
That was a boneheaded play. He just let that one go. It either would have gone out of bounds or stopped down there. What was he thinking?
Bad situation all the way around as Storeholder was banking the Josh Jones with the wind. Wasn't going to kick this one over his head.
Boy, oh boy.
It went zooming down the visitor's sideline.
First period.
Storeholder decided to go try to pick it up inside
that was
the 10.
boneheaded.
And when he got it down around the 2, he did step inside the end zone, and he never got out. I thought he did, but it didn't. When the officials got down there and
Now
they
they're
got
talking,
all the Bears up off the pile, they decided that he was inside the end zone, and it's 6-2 right now. And just like that, the Bears are actually going to start the second quarter with the football on the free kick. So why don't we take a quick timeout right now? 12 minutes are gone here. Bears down 6-2 on the Golden Bear Sports Network.
That's whoa.
Back
crazy.
here at Golden Bear Stadium as we're just chatting that thing through. But that ball was basically fielded down around the 2-yard line, and the one major mistake after he'd already made about 3 other major mistakes or minor
let
mistakes.
it go.
Yeah, it was really picking it up and then running himself inside that big old stripe at the end of the football field there, Chris.
Well, if he had let it
Bears
go,
all over there.
one of two things would have happened.
Yeah.
He would. Here's the replay if you're watching on Friday night or Saturday night. But he would have. It would have either gone out of bounds or gone in the end zone. Either way, you have the ball. But if it goes in the end zone without him touching it, it's a touchback.
Yep. And you can see he scooped it up and down around the 2, and there's where he runs
right
inside
in the end zone.
the end
So
zone.
once you do that, that's a safety.
And there he is right there at that end zone, and they dropped him right there inside that goal line, and it was a big play for the Bears here as they scored 2 points tonight the old-fashioned way.
Yep. It's like a baseball score right now.
Josh Jones gets it on the line on the visitor's side at the 40, cuts it inside to the 45, and then he's dropped pretty much right there. They're going to say he got just shy of the 45-yard line of the Golden Bears. So because of that free kick, Bears also get some pretty good field position.
So this will be drive number 3 for the Bears.
See, maybe if this will fire them up just a little bit, Chris.
It would be good if they did.
Hey, we'll take any points that we can get any way we can get them here tonight, right?
Absolutely.
That's the idea. Bears offense again on the field, as you said, Chris, for the 3rd time. And they have doubles going both sides, and they'll bring a flanker around the end and hand this football off again. And it'll be handed off again to Rittenhouse, and Rittenhouse gets about a yard. I'm going to say he got really basically back to the line of scrimmage, didn't he? 2nd down and 10. Big number 66 there on the stop. Chance Veller. That big boy is a tough one to move. And then you got the big middle linebacker, Dalton Richard, that's firing all over the place. High snap, handoff, again. Opening, 50, 40, 35. Rittenhouse inside to the 33-yard line. Bears going with that one running back look and that little delayed draw. And Rittenhouse found nice running room off the left side. Scooted right up the stripes there to the 33-yard line.
So he got, let's see, 17 plus 6. He got 23.
Novus comes over to the sideline and then back into the huddle. Bears look like they might have a little more confidence going on right now after that safety. Peters and Rummel go to the top of the screen. Single back in the backfield. Jones goes in motion toward the Delta sideline. Rittenhouse with a counter play, and this time Veller's in. Kind of wraps him up and drops him down. So Veller with the tackle for a loss of about a yard. And that's the one thing, you know, these big dudes, this Delta team, as we said in the pregame show, a bunch of wrestlers. Okay,
it is.
And you kind of saw the way that Veller, you know, basically conducts himself. He is a wrestler at heart. Came in and kind of got the takedown on that little play.
Well, 66 is a big dude, 86 is a big dude, 54 is a big dude. They're all big.
They've got some size on that defensive side, don't they, huh? Second down and 11 now for the Bears. Nobis keeps it, turns the right corner. He'll get the loss back plus a couple. And it'll set up a third down at about 8.
Bears so far 0 of 2 on third downs. Let's see if this is different.
Well, at this point in time, too, you can bet that if they get a chunk, yeah, even if they don't get a chunk, I would bet it's fourth down territory. They go in that offside eye look. They've got the set back to the right and the eye back right behind them.
Another high snap.
Rittenhouse has the ball up the middle, first down, 20, down inside the 18-yard line. John Rittenhouse coming back for his first night in a while, and he is really making the most of it as he picks up the first down. The Bears have the football inside the 20 at the 18-yard line. 9:24 and counting here in this first half of football. Second quarter play, and the Bears down 4-6-2. With that, we got a timeout on the field. I think it was Delta that called that one. It sure was. So we'll step away, too. Bears down 6-2 on BryanSports.com. Back here at Golden Bear Stadium, Jim and Chris on a Friday night. And don't forget, if you're out listening right now on the web stream, that you can watch the ball game tonight starting at 11 o'clock on BMU Channel 3. And, hey, if things keep going the way they're going right now, it might be a darn good watch here this evening. Rittenhouse again, the eye back in the backfield. Got a fullback in front of him in a three-point stance. Quarterback goes under center this time. He'll turn and hand off to Rittenhouse, and he'll find the running room a little bit sparse right up the center of the field. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage and not much more. In fact, they're going to say he lost about a foot on that one.
I'm still giving him 0.
Attaboy. Yeah, round it, you round a little bit here, you round a little bit there, right? Isn't that the way that's supposed to be? Bears have Rummel in at the fullback position. He's down in a three-point stance. Rittenhouse behind him in that I formation. They'll bring Jones in motion from the wing. They'll pitch it to Jones. He's going to try to turn that left corner, and he's going to run out of real estate. As right there waiting on him was Dylan Rogers, and Rogers had gotten up the football field, got to Jones in the backfield to drop him for a loss back to about the 27-yard line. And it'll be third down and a whole bunch now for the Golden Bears.
I'd like to see if Jones could throw that ball out of there.
That almost looked like that's what he was planning on, Chris, the way he was just kind of barely moving towards the sideline. But it's the wrong side for him to throw from because he's a righty and he was going towards his left. So next time if that play goes to the right side, I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't just stop and arch one to the end zone. Jones heads the other direction now in motion. Nobis runs. Now nice he'll cut back towards the home side. Gets around the end back to about the 26-yard line and then gets knocked out of bounds. So a short pickup.
Wow, they didn't spot that well at all.
Looked like the play was heading towards the right, and Nobis decided that the backside was wide open.
Didn't it look like he crossed the 25? Like he
was awful close.
Over it?
They spot him just on the Bryan side of the 25, and it's fourth down now at about 16, maybe 17, as they go all the way down to the 9 for the first down. Jones, Rummels, and Peters to the top of the screen. Rittenhouse in the backfield, the only running back. Blues Creek, the only running back on the left side, and they'll throw it up to the top side. Down inside the 5, it's caught. Bears first down. Josh Jones with the reception. And he'll step inside the 5 to the 4, and it'll be Golden Bears ball, first down and goal.
Wow. Nice job there by Jones to get open on the right side and just go up and catch it.
Ball was thrown just where it needed to be, and Jones had the defender with his back turned as the football got there, pulled it in, took a step. Bears ball on the 4, and a timeout by the Golden Bears. They want to talk this one over. 7:36 to play, second quarter. Bears might be knocking on the door for a score. We'll step away on BryanSports.com. Back here at Golden Bear Stadium, and the only guy big enough to take on big number 66 is sitting down in our bus right now. His name is Christopher Bryce. Mr. Bryce, what's going on around the area tonight, bud?
What's going on, Jim? We got some scores in Liberty Center over Archbold, 13-6. Swanton is getting beat by Wauseon, 14-7. It's Patrick Henry over Evergreen 14-8. Montpelier Hilltop, no score. Holgate Fairview, no score. Ayersville over Edgerton 14-0. Anthony Wayne over Napoleon 8-0. St. Mary's over Defiance 7-0. Sandusky over Columbia 7-0. And no score yet, Wayne Trace and Hicksville. Back up to you guys.
Wildcat look for the Bears as Rittenhouse gets just a little bit up the middle. Middle 7, a second down here in goal for the Golden Bears. Kind of surprising Waseon beating Swanton here early in that ball game tonight, 14-7. Rittenhouse again with the football, right side, down close to the goal line. Not quite there, though. It'll be a third down now in goals. They'll mark him on the 1.
Taken down by number 2, Owen Green.
Third down and goal. We're going to call it the 1. Kind of tough to see up here, but it's really close. Bears again come out in that big look. Devin Wagner now is the lead blocker on the right-hand side. Rittenhouse with the football, but before everything starts, the Bears go in motion. And instead of being third down and 1, it's about to be third down and 6.
5 yards, replay, third down.
Again,
Drew Lockhoff, the young man that got the call there, he said 28
Delta.
And I'm not sure that
there's a 28 or Delta.
I'm not sure that Drew was necessarily in on that play at that point in time, but we'll find out. Somebody was moving on the right-hand side, and the Bears now have a third down and goal from the 6 instead of the 1. Again, Wagner is the blocker to the left. Peters now is the guy in the backfield. And Drew Peters will roll to his right and look to throw this ball, and it's a little bit short at the goal line. And it'll set up fourth down now and goal. And the Bears, I believe, are going to send the kick team on. Josh Jones coming up. And Jones going to kick this one right into the wind down there, Chris, but it's a short enough kick. It's going to be spotted at about the 12-yard line. So it'll be a 22-yarder for Josh into the wind. Bears get all their players on the field now. Creek is the holder. Good snap, good placement. Jones with a low kick, but it's solid, and it's right through the middle of the uprights. And just like that, it does look like a World Series score right now.
Yes, it does.
It's Delta 6, Bears 5, 5:53 to go here on BryanSports.com. Back here at Golden Bear Stadium, Jim Funderburg and Chris Malenga. So Bears here just a point behind, Chris, 6-5 on this football Friday night, and doing it kind of the unusual way here tonight.
Yeah, kind of. We got the old baseball score going on.
Starholder will be the return guy here on the closest side to us, number 9. He's at the 14-yard line. And Beverly is his running mate up on the Delta side. And my recommendation is you kick it down here to the guys at about the 35-yard line.
Yeah, that would be good.
And not let these guys deep get it, and that's exactly what they're going to do. Angle it towards the sideline, and it dies.
No! Oh! No way, that's in bounds. I can see that from here.
That ball looked like it died just in bounds on the 25-yard line, and the Bears recovered it, but the official that was down on the spot
I disagree.
Decided that it touched that little white end line there. That's
terrible. Actually, it's against Bryan. Wow, that is, I don't know about that.
Let's see that thing again. There you go. You can see the ball.
Let's back it up a little bit. Roll that back. Roll that right there. Up, go a little bit. Oh, man.
It just looked like it died.
It looked like it crossed.
Again, we don't have the best angle sitting over here necessarily, but it just looked like it dropped dead right inside that sideline with the Bears the opportunity maybe to recover that thing, but they didn't get to it. Handoff goes to Storeholder. The ball's loose, and the Bears are on it. 43-yard line. Storeholder was up the field for about 8. Somebody ripped his arm, and all of a sudden Storeholder's head turned, looking for that football, and the Bears came up with it.
The 44-yard line.
First down and 10, a fired-up Golden Bears football team here on this Friday night. And Bailey Stolholder is probably in for some conversations here at halftime, I would bet.
Yeah, no doubt.
Football is Bears football on the Delta 44-yard line, first down and 10. Again, that offset eye look. Jones goes in motion heading toward the Delta sideline. Rittenhouse with a handoff, and he'll have room on the counter play inside the 40 down to the 39-yard line, giving him about 5 yards on that pickup.
That is a high snap, man.
Yeah,
they got to get that down.
It's been a tough situation all year long.
Yes, it has.
Zach Novus was able to go up and get it. Novus for the year is completing 41% of his passes, but I don't expect he's going to throw the ball too many times
tonight.
He's
2 for 2.
Jones and Peters at the top. Well, that's right. So he's adding to that percentage tonight as he will roll towards his right and look to throw, and that one is tipped away.
Not 2 for 2 anymore.
Lockoff was the young man that was intended to receive that ball, and number 2 was the guy that knocked it away.
Bears just 1 of 5 on third down tonight, Jim. 20%.
Third down at about 5. Didn't get a roster from the folks at Delta this week, so it's made it a little bit difficult. So you have to hang in there with me for a minute as I dig through a number here or there because don't have what I was looking for. Again, Rittenhouse, running room to the 35. He's close to the first down as they're going to mark him just barely across that 35-yard line, and he needs to get down to the 34.5. Let's see, number 2 is Bowen Green.
I believe you're going for it.
Got to believe that, too.
Well, they're already 1 for 1 on fourth downs before.
Might as well make it 2 for 2, huh?
That's right.
No
this would be good where you had Damon Belt if you had Damon Belts.
Novus will go under center this time. Trying to get Delta to jump offside. Lost the football. It's up in the air. It's on the ground. Let's see who's got it. Looks like, well, we'll have to wait till the pile unpiles here. That ball changed hands 2 or 3 times, but Delta comes away with the football, and it's Evan Vasquez, number 3, that comes up with it. Novus never had the football as he was coming out from behind the center. That ball was up in the air and bouncing around. The next thing you know, it touched 3 or 4 people in the backfield before Delta was able to come up with that football. So the Bears recovered a fumble on their end, and now they give that football right back. 4:19 to play here in the second quarter. Delta comes into that T look here again. And you got to believe they're going to start running this football even harder and even heavier. Dylan Rogers, left side, stopped by Wagner at about the 46-yard line. They'll give him about 4. Second down will make it a long 6.
Who was that? Sorry, Jim.
That was number 22 there, Christopher.
Thank you, sir. Mm-hmm. Just fix it all. Every time there's a change in possession, there's so many buttons.
Storeholder is the wing back up on the Delta sideline looking towards the home side. They'll hand off to the first guy through the fullback, and I believe that's 24, Jess Beverly. And Beverly on the dive play will get maybe a foot or 2, and it will now be third down. And I got to tell you that maybe you got back to the line of scrimmage and no more. So third down and still a short 7 or a long 6. Dylan Wagner on the stop again for the Bears. And that's one guy who has made an awful lot of progress this year. And they've had several. The Bears have had several guys that have made that move this year. And next year is going to be a real fun year, I think, of football for this whole football team and the community again. Parsons will keep it, roll left side, going to look for the sticks and get knocked out of bounds. Probably about 3 yards shy of those sticks, close to the midfield stripe. Straight run all the way as Parsons made that initial fake and then just took off to the left corner, and the Bears were able to get up there and bounce him out of bounds at the 49-yard line. And it'll set up a fourth down now and about 3 yards to go. And Devin Richard, number 86, comes on to kick this ball away. And Josh Jones will drop back deep down around the 10. Got to see if 86 has anything in his tank to run, but he's going to bang this one away. Jones retreats and catches it on his 10, makes a fake, Now head up the visitor sideline. He's at the 20, 25, and out of bounds right around the 25-yard line. I'll say he stepped out of the 24, so the Bears will have the football right there with 2:47 to play here in this second quarter. If you're just joining us, it's 6-5. Delta scored on a touchdown run. In fact, a goal line plunge, I believe, for about a yard out.
1 yard touchdown run. It was by Parsons,
And
quarterback
then the
keeper.
Extra point was blocked.
Yep.
The Bears then got a safety and a field goal. And right now it's 6-5 as
Looking
we're
for
heading
their
towards
first
the half.
touchdown.
Getting that offset eye look on the home side. The sweep to Josh Jones. And too many Delta Panthers in the backfield.
There's finally the horse collar.
Dylan Rogers got the tackle, but he got it right around the back of the neck.
So we got to see how we get this.
We've seen a couple of them this year that have not been called. And
Foul, horse collar on the tackle, 15 yards, first down.
so the horse collar tackle will give the Bears a first down. Move the football all the way up to the 32-yard line. And they need to move the sticks because right now we got a 1st and 2.
They said 1st and 2 over the thing.
Now they got to move the sticks. Well, maybe not.
No, I don't think so. I think it's from the spot.
You're right. From the spot, you're right. It's 1st and 2. I'm sorry. Because that was about a 13-yard loss, wasn't it? Running play will go nowhere. Right back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be 2nd down now and 2. .205 to play here in the first half. Rittenhouse and Rummel in the backfield. Rummel at the fullback spot in that traditional eye look. Handoff goes to Rittenhouse, right side. He'll have the first down as he crosses the 35-yard line out to the 36. That's been a play that's gotten him 3 or 4 or more on several occasions here tonight.
That's the 4th first down of the night.
And again, Damon Belts with that ankle problem that he had, he picked up there last week early, and I think that really hurt him against Archibald because I do believe that was something the coach wanted to do last week was pound that ball a little bit more than what they were able to do.
Now, Damon is dressed tonight, but he hasn't been in yet. Rittenhouse, as the backup back, has 53 yards of rushing tonight.
Nobis drops, throws, Blues Creek, and hit him on the hands just a little bit behind him, and Blues couldn't bring it back in. You know, Damon came in for that one play, Chris, when Rittenhouse kind of got injured there a little bit, but you're right, he never touched the ball. He came in. Rittenhouse came in the very next play. So, again, just a decoy, obviously, tonight. And that's something the coach talks about all the time. He doesn't really like to play these guys if they're not pretty close to 100%. Everybody's going to get dinged and bumped and bruised here a little bit. But basically, you like to be able to get these guys relatively healthy because he still has 2 more games after this one. A little shift on that front of that line. High snap over the quarterback's head. Jones picks it up inside the 10, running for his life. He'll just down it at the 9 with a minute and 10 seconds and counting right now in the second quarter.
36 to the 9.
27-yard loss. Bad snap again. We've had a couple of those this year too. So as we've said, it's just been a combination of things. Whole bunch of guys with their first year playing on Friday nights. And a snap that was well over everybody's head cost the Bears some decent field position and Delta with a quick timeout because they want to obviously get everybody back on the same page and maybe get this football back with a minute or so to go. Both teams now down to just 1 timeout.
Bears 1 of 6 on 3rd down tonight.
And this one is going to be 3rd down and a whole bunch. Got to get all the way back out to the 46-yard line. So they're going to add 3 more seconds to the official game clock here. And we'll go back to 1 minute and 9 seconds. Don't forget our ball game being brought to you tonight by the Bryan Athletic Boosters, always backing our athletes. Good luck to the Bears all season long. By Bryan Ford Lincoln, we're just down the road from high prices. Bryan Municipal Utilities, your local cable and high-speed internet provider. Genesis Healthcare, Bryan Center, where your friends, your family, and your neighbors at Krill Funeral Home. Commitment to service is our #1 priority. And the Bears now with the football with 1 minute 9 seconds left to go in the first half, trailing by a point 6-5. And now you need that, in the past, Chris, we've said, boy, we need that play that'll get us 36, and Shinny seemed to find out a way to get that 36 for us at times. I think right now I'd rather have a play that would get us 1 minute and 10 seconds.
Absolutely. Whoa, right into the whistle. That was fun. Right in my headset.
Let's take this thing and run it around and give it back to him with 000s on the scoreboard. Pistol look again for Nobis. Good snap this time. He's going to drop and throw a screen pass, and it's a little bit low. That was set up. That might have gone for a few at least. Ball was thrown a little bit short. And we've got the coaches on the other side of us here from Delta, and they're yelling punt block, punt block. So got to believe they're bringing the house right now. Now would be a good time to fake one if they're going to bring it.
Yeah, it would be.
They're going to bring it all. Let's throw that little screen pass over to that left flank, where they're going to be bringing every kid in a white helmet and toss it right over their head and take it 90 yards up the other end. Jones gets the ball away and a good kick. Storeholder.
See if he runs back into his end zone.
35. It'll roll across the 40 to the 43-yard line, and the clock will work its way down to 54 seconds. But Delta will have the football on the Bryan side of the 50 at the 44-yard line. They have one timeout left here in this first half, and they will get the football to open up the third quarter. Wind at their back, Chris. You'd think.
I think they're going to take a shot.
Haven't thrown the ball much here tonight. When they have thrown it, big number 86 has been their target, hasn't he, Tom?
He has.
Devin Richard, the senior tight end. This is a football team that has quite a few seniors on it. Vasquez, Parsons, Storeholder, all of them seniors.
Parson is 2 for 2.
This will be a swing pass out the Storeholder on the left flats. He's going to reverse directions, come back to the Bryan sideline, and he's up the sideline, 30-yard line, 25, and tackled inside the 20 at about the 23-yard line.
Wow.
Garza with a nice job of getting over here and wrapping him up. Storeholder went to the left side and got stopped up on that left side and then just reversed his direction, headed from the visitor's side to the home side. He got to the corner. There were a bunch of Bears that were coming in pursuit along that sideline, and lucky enough, Garza got there in time to wrap him up and knock him down at the 19-yard line. 43 ticks left as they'll send 4 wide receivers. Well, 3. One's going to head to the sideline. 3. There you go. There's the flag. They broke the huddle with 12. That's why I'm saying they had 4 wide receivers out there, and then one decided, I'm not here. I shouldn't be here right now, and he ran off the field. And the official that he was standing closest to thought for a second and went, "Hold on a minute. Oh, they're going to pick it up."
How are they going to pick it up? There were 12.
Wow, they
2,
broke
4,
the huddle
6,
with 12.
8, 10, 11 now.
Yeah, but they broke the huddle with 12, and the 12th guy went out like he was going out to line up and then ran to the sideline. And they picked it up and waved it off. So
there's 5 officials out there in stripes. How you missed that? And one person's job is to count the number of players.
And he got it. He got it right.
He did get it right. I just don't understand.
Triples go to the top single guy in the backfield right now. Parsons going to throw it out into the flat, and he's got his guy complete to Martini, and Martini will get down to about the 15, maybe the 14-yard line. Clock will stop at 35.
There's another flag.
Now we got an illegal block or a hold.
Hold.
And that will bring them all the way back to the 30-yard line, almost the 29. So it's been kind of a ragged night for both teams.
30 offensive penalty yards, Jim. 50 total for Delta.
Wow. Clock is moving with 30 seconds. Panthers have one timeout left if they choose to use it. Single running back in the backfield is Beverly. Parsons with a go route. Storeholder going towards the right corner. He's got 2 or 3 guys around him. And this ball will be underthrown, and a nice job there by the Bears' Jake Hausch to run underneath that one and knock it away with 14 ticks left. Again, trying to get the speedster, Storholder, out in space, and he had 3 purple jerseys all around him, Chris. Good coverage by the Bears.
Yep.
Bears tonight, they're all purple with their gold helmets and the gold trim. Delta in their white with the green letters and numbers. And they'll go back into that wing T look now. Storholder all by himself on the home side here. And he's going to go turn. They're going to go the other direction, though, and they will make the completion. Nope, the ball's dropped. Down around the 14-yard line. Pass by Parsons was right on the button.
It was, but the nice coverage caused him to not catch it. It's a little hard to catch a pass when you got a Golden Bear bearing down on you.
Vasquez, number 3, was the intended receiver. Basically, they put Storholder up here as the decoy, and he went running out and then did a little curl route about 15 yards down the field, and they threw the opposite direction.
Bears 66%. Panthers 66% on third down conversions tonight.
8 seconds left to go in this first half. Della still with the football at the 29-yard line.
This would be a big stop for the Bears.
Parson drops. He's got time. He's going to throw this one deep. Into double coverage, tipped away. Bears again, nice job down around the goal line. Garza again with that knock away.
0.8 of a second.
Martini was the young man that they were trying to get the ball to. Nice job by Garza to knock that football away down at the goal line. And with 0.8 of a second and a 4th down, this is the last play, more than likely, of this first half, unless there's a defensive penalty. Parsons is going to line up a shotgun this time, so there's no doubt about what he's going to do. Storholder, again, the running back in the flank on the right side all by himself, and he gets bumped at the line of scrimmage.
Oh, there's a penalty. That'll be a block in the back.
Parsons will keep it. He'll go around the right end, and he'll be dropped at about the 22-yard line. The Bears will probably decline the penalty, and this first half, I would bet, is in the books.
Parsons.
That'll be a block in the back on them.
Josh Jones.
Bears will decline the penalty. Triple zeros on the scoreboard. It's 6-5. Bears trail by 1 point as we head to halftime here in the Golden Bears Sports Network on BryanSports.com.
Back out at Golden Bears Stadium. Chris Malenga, Jim Funderburg here with you. Halftime. It is 6-5 Delta over Bryan as we're playing the bottom of the second inning here at Golden Bears Stadium. It feels that way, doesn't it, Jim?
It does feel that way, doesn't it, huh?
It does.
Well, it's been an interesting ball game. It's been a bit of a sloppy ball game, in all honesty, Chris. I mean, there's been some mental mistakes on both sides, as you've already pointed out a couple times, a number of penalties on both teams. Fumble by both sides, and both these teams really not looking like they're ready to get tuned up for the state playoffs here tonight. But you've got a Delta Panther team that really needs to win this ball game if they're going to keep any kind of hopes alive here tonight. And you got a Golden Bear team that's kind of determined to maybe make this a ball game tonight, their final game here at Golden Bear Stadium for the 2015 season. And homecoming, and I'll tell you what, so far, everybody that's here has got to be happy with the way that the Bears have performed and the way the effort has been that's come out of these guys right now. In fact, if Chris Bryce is down there with us right now, why don't we get Chris if he's got some updated scores, and he and I can chat through these a little bit. There he is. I can always.
Are you there, Jim?
I'm here, man. You there?
Yeah, I'm here.
So what you got out there, man? You got any interesting games? First of all, how many interesting games you got out there right now?
We got Liberty Center over Archibald 21-7. That's at halftime.
Wow. So LC's up 21-7 at halftime. Man.
Swanton over Wauseon 16-14. That's at half.
Okay, so Swanton's back ahead now, 16-14 over Wauseon. That makes a little more sense to me after they were down. That one's being played? Where is that being played? Do you have that in front of you there, Chris?
That's in Wauseon.
That's being played at Wauseon. Okay, yep. So that never helped. That never hurts the Indians over there to be able to have a crew coming their way on a Friday night, right?
Home field advantage.
16-14 right now with Swanton over Wauseon here at halftime.
And it's Patrick Henry over Evergreen 28-14.
So PH up double on Evergreen here tonight. That's probably not all that surprising. PH seems to be playing some pretty good football. And unfortunately, we're heading their direction next week and then ending everything up at Liberty the following week. So that's going to be a tough way to work this out. Need to get a big win here tonight.
Holgate and Fairview tied up at 0.
The Apaches.
Wow. Okay.
Ayersville over Edgerton 21-0. That's
Okay.
at half. Anthony Wayne over Napoleon 15-0 at half.
Okay.
St. Mary's over Defiance 14-6.
Wow, St. Mary's beating Defiance 14-6. We got Zach the Cat Hazlett with us right now too.
Defiance had a tough year this year.
Yeah.
Sandusky over Columbia 7-0. That's at the half.
Okay.
Wayne Trace over Hicksville 8-7.
Okay.
That's somewhere in the second quarter.
Okay.
And for some reason, I don't 100% know why, but I don't have a Montpelier Hilltop score, and I think that's the score everybody's looking for right now anyway. So.
I'll tell you what, a guy like you, I thought that they would personally text that score to you.
You think there'd be an alumni text out
Yeah,
there?
you would think so. A Hall of Famer like you.
Hall of Famer.
I mean, come on, man. You're one of the ultimate, the ultimate Montpelier guys right up there, you know?
Number one loco, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I wasn't going to do that because that, your number one loco does kind of tend to cross some borders in some radio waves every now and then.
Hey, I'm going for the Golden Bears tonight, though. And right now we got a baseball score happening here, so.
That's amazing. Are there any baseball games out there tonight? Anybody playing baseball tonight?
That's a good question.
You got to go take a look at that for us here while you're perusing the at cyberspace right now too, huh?
Well, let's see what the Indians are doing. Oh, wait.
Oh, yeah. There you go. All right, Chris. Well, we'll check in with you here as the night goes on.
Game starts at 8:07 tonight. There, Jimbo, Blue Jays and Royals. So in just a few minutes, first pitch.
8:07 tonight. Okay, that's good to know that tonight. Chris, Mr. Herman on the mic here all of a sudden.
Huh?
He's heading to Austin. Can you imagine that, guys? I mean, what a life. You got.
Yeah.
All he does is complain and complain how hard he's got it. Every time you try to track him down, where's Herman at? Well, he's in Austin. He's in Austin, Texas here. Oh, gosh. Did he take any of us with us?
No.
Huh? Did he invite you, Chris?
He did not invite me.
Zach, were you invited at all?
I just got back.
See? I bet Mr. Bryce didn't get an invitation. Neither did I. Okay.
I think Greg's going, though.
Yeah, Greg might be going. No, Greg's got to stay here, too. Look at that, 85 and sunny in Austin, Texas right now. And it's going to be 32 and chilly all night long in Bryan, Ohio, but that's just kind of the way that it goes. Chris, you got some stats for us?
I do. Your score 6-5. Feels like we're playing baseball. First downs, Delta with 6 to Bryan's 4. Delta got theirs 3 on the rush, 3 on the pass. Bryan 3 on the rush, 1 by penalty. Bryan has 26 rushing yards on 19 attempts. Their longest 23, negated by a couple of really bad bad snaps. Delta has 60 yards rushing on 17 attempts. Their long is only 14. Passing, Bryan is 2 of 5 for 37 yards, no interceptions. Delta 3 of 5 for 47 yards. His last 2 were incomplete. He was 3 of 3 going into that. Bryan ran 28 total offensive plays to Delta's 24. Total yards, Bryan 63, Delta 107. Time of possession, Bryan at 13:31, Delta 9:14. Bryan is 1 of 7, 14% on third down. Delta 2 of 4. Bryan is 1 of 2 from fourth down. Delta 0 of 1. They've each been in the red zone once and scored once. Bryan's been penalized 4 times for 25 yards, 5 for Delta for 50 yards, and Bryan has had 1 field goal tonight. You want some individual stats?
Yeah, how about a couple of you want some individual stats, Zach?
Why not?
Rittenhouse is your leading rusher. He has 11 carries for 53 yards. Again, Novus at 37 yards passing. He found Creek for 15 and Jones for 22. Taking a look at Delta, Jesse Beverly, of course, is the guy that we always have to look for. 9 carries, 45 yards, so he's averaging an even 5 yards a carry. And then passing, 47 yards passing. He found Richard for 27 and Storeholder for 20. So there you go.
There you go. So it's been an interesting ball game, a very close ball game, 6-5. Zach, how about an outsider's perspective now? An old Golden Bear that's come back and, what is this, your 35th reunion?
5th.
Oh, 5th.
5 years.
I put a 3 in front of that.
It's that one living brain cell.
Yeah, I think Bob Iyer go along with this. It seems like it's 35 for him, doesn't it? Yeah, Bob Fields, 35, and I go along with it. You look like you've been out of school about 35 years right now with that nice slick back hairdo you got going on, and that Prince coiffure, I think they call that. How's it going, Zach?
It's going well. It's going well. Just came up for homecoming, 5-year reunion. Had to come visit you guys, of course.
Who's back in town as part of your 5-year reunion? Who are the cops looking for in Bryan tonight? I guess
the class of 2010. Just keep a lookout for our faces, I guess, right?
Yeah. Who all you got? Who are some of your buddies back in town that you're hanging with? Right now?
We got Megan Schilling, Nate Harger, Dan Iyer, of course, the legendary Bob's kid Iyer from the Montpelier football. That's like the one memory I have of BMU sports when I didn't work. It was back in like 07. Jim, you were calling the game. And we scored, and you didn't have a number for Dan Iyer. And you're like, oh, that's Bob's kid. Got Bob's kid Iyer in on the touchdown. So that kind of stuck with us as always Bob's kid. That's his nickname now. So we got Bob's kid here tonight.
Good.
Yeah, we got a whole bunch here tonight. It's a good night. Good night. See, the Bears are competing tonight, which is really good with this young team.
No doubt about it. Well, I'll tell you what, we're going to step away for a quick break, and the Bryan Golden Bears band is going to be on stage right after this on BryanSports.com.
Tonight is our annual senior show, this year featuring the class of 2016. It's a salute to classic rock and video music. It begins with Guns N' Roses' Sweet Child of Mine, followed by the Kansas classic Carry On, My Wayward Son, and then closes with Fat Bottom Girls by the group Queen. So grab your air guitar and strum along with our seniors as they perform the Guitar Hero Show. Ladies and gentlemen, the seniors of the Bryan High School Marching Band. And now we close our show with a tune that our band premiered here in the Golden Bear Stadium in the fall of 1991. It was performed by a band who was once called the loudest band and is listed in the 1975 Guinness Book of World Records for that. In 2005, they were nominated for a third time to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Here is their October 1968 classic, as we feature the British rock band Deep Purple's classic, Hush. The Bryan High School Marching Band is under the direction of Mr. Richard Will. Staff assistants are Mick Camarillo and Eric Schaefer, with senior field commander Nancy Seller and junior field commander Chella Marcus. The Bryan Marching Band would like to compliment the Delta Marching Band on their performance this evening. They thank everyone for their applause, wish you a safe drive home and a great weekend. Good night and go Bears!
For the Golden Bears will be number 27, Joshua Jones. Deep Burnell to number 9, Bailey Storeholder, and number 24, Jesse Beverly. 25-yard line, first and 10. Ball carrier number 24, Domestic Beverly. Taken down by number 4, Lucas Nye. On the carry, number 22, Dylan Rogers. 22, Brandon Carroll, and 64, Chance Taylor on the stop of the Golden Bears. Be a third down for Delta at the Bryan 41-yard line. On the carry, 24, Jesse Beverly. 27, Joshua Jones, and 59, Zach Goodspeed on the stop of the Bryan. He held a first down at the Bryan 27-yard line.
Not a good stat.
Nope.
14 is not a good number unless it's Valentine's Day, right? Storeholder and Beverly, the running backs in the backfield. They've got a wing back on the left side. They will hand off to Beverly, and he will dive on that left side of the line for a couple down to about the 25-yard line. Nine Goodspeed, the young guys on the tackle for the Bears. I'll give him a short 3 there, second down, and let's call it a long 7 here. 9:41 to play in the third quarter. Ball just on the other side of the 25. 64?
64 for Beverly so far tonight.
Beverly in that fullback spot, Storeholder to his right. They'll fake and they'll hand it to Storeholder on the counter, and Storeholder, again, not much room as he gets across the 25 to about the 24-yard line. And a good job by Hall in the middle there to make that tackle. And the Bears offense, defensive line doing a good job with a very good sized offensive line that Delta brings into this ball game tonight. Vasquez checks back in along with Martini. Third down at about 6, maybe 7. They'll bunch 3 here on the top of the screen. They'll pitch that ball to Beverly, and Beverly cuts around the right corner. We've got a chop block or an illegal block, I think, in the backfield. Beverly is going to just get back to the line of scrimmage. And we have an interesting call now for Coach Redhead. He's going to take that one. It would have set up a fourth down in about 5, maybe 6. Or it'll set up a third down now, and they'll take the penalty and march this football all the way back to almost the 40-yard line, the 39-yard line.
So
got to go down to almost the 18. So
should be a 15-yarder, right?
Yep. About a 21-yard proposition right now for this whole situation. Third down now and 21 for Delta. They'll go back to that straight T.
Down right there.
Straight T. That would have been fourth at about 6. You're right. It's a difficult question. Parson rolls and drops and throws, and this ball's short.
Now I would have taken it.
Storeholder was the guy that was the intended receiver. Jake Kuba with some really nice positioning on that. That ball would have had to been thrown over the top. And Kuba had the underneath route pretty well sealed out on that play. It'll be fourth down now and 21.
I don't believe they're going to punt, right?
Well, you would think, but you never can tell, right? Yep, looks like they've got the offense on the field,
There
man.
it
They're
does.
not going to.
No, I don't know.
And now they're going to call a timeout. All right.
Everybody's confused.
Delta will take a timeout as they want to go over and chat some things over on the sideline. We have 8:26 to play third quarter, and the Bears trail by 1, 6-5 here on BryanSports.com. Back here at Golden Bear Stadium, Jim and Chris, Friday night. Last Friday night at home for the Golden Bears here in this 2015 campaign.
Got to go to Henry County 2 weeks in a row.
Oh, baby. I don't know. You know, that's
my two favorite places in the league.
And I think Delta has decided maybe it's time to kick this one away, and they will drop Devin Richard back across the 50-yard line. He'll be standing on his 48-yard line, and I would worry a little bit about this big fella maybe taking off and running with the football, but he's going to kick it away. Josh Jones, the only guy back, and is kicked away from Jones towards the Delta sideline, and a big high bounce will be down around the 7, maybe the 8 once they stop everything up. We'll just have to check and see where they settle this thing in at. But the Bears will have the football with about 92 to 3 yards to go for scoring purposes here.
Looks like it's the 8.
Wind will be at their back. Ball will be, as you said, at the 8. Bears have the ball first down and 10. This is their first opportunity, and a good job by the defense to get on and off that football field here to start this third quarter.
Rittenhouse with 53 yards is your big stat of the first half for the offense.
Bears again with that offset eye look, and they'll turn and they'll hand that ball to Rittenhouse, and Rittenhouse gets a little bit off the right side, maybe line of scrimmage plus a $5 foot long, maybe,
yeah,
Chris?
I think you're probably right.
Give it a second down and call it a generous
Long
9. How's that? Yeah. Clock is rolling with 7:50 to play in this third quarter. Chilly night. Everybody that's here tonight has their coats on and their gloves and their hats and their sweaters, and they're all bundled up.
Every time I see one of these balloons take off, I'm thinking it's a flag. Comes into my field of vision.
Rittenhouse breaks a tackle, left sideline, up the sideline, out of bounds. He'll have the first down right around the 20-yard line. A little bit of a delay sweep around that left end for Rittenhouse. He caught a block on that left corner by Whitler and took that ball around the end and up the sideline for the first down. And the Bears not going to go quiet tonight, Chris. This is a football team, I think, that is maybe starting to grow up and focus a little bit, understand what it takes. You know, that's another part of the process. Go out and you get pushed around a little bit and shoved around a little bit, and then you learn to push back a little bit, and the next thing you know, this is starting to look like a football team. Novus rolls towards the home side, looking to throw, going to run out of time, throws the ball, he's got his guy, but it's dropped out around the 42-yard line. Tough catch. Peters had the ball at about the 42. Vasquez was the guy on the defense that kind of got an arm in there and stripped it away, but I bet Drew would like to have that one back. That's one that he's going to catch an awful lot in the next couple of years.
He's talking a lot, the official, the defender. I'm trying to figure out what he thought it pushed off or what, but he's 27 has just been having a conversation with the official back there, that back judge.
Yeah, you got to lobby every now and then, you know. Martini. Maybe Dustin's going to be a lawyer down the way. Jones goes in motion. They'll hand the ball off to Rittenhouse. He's got room again to the 25-yard line. Give John about 4, almost 5, so it'll set up a third down at about 6.
Again, Bears 14% on third down. It's not been a good down for them.
Now, if you notice right now, as Rittenhouse comes to the sideline so that there's only 11 guys in the huddle when they go to break, that's kind of what they got away with a while ago.
Yeah.
Having 12 there looking around with white shirts and green stripes all over the place, and then the next thing you know, one says, well, maybe I better step off over here. Flag came out, flag went back in. Don't understand that one still at this point. Jones in motion, heading towards the home side. Draw play.
Should be Rummel.
Not a lot of room there for David as he gets a couple. He'll be at about the 28-yard line.
And that was Belts.
That was Belts, yeah. There you go, 44, not 24, huh? That's good to see Damon back in there.
Yep.
Must be, obviously the ankle must be feeling a little bit better as he looks like he's heading both ways out the sideline here. Pretty good shape. He was not running well earlier in the week as I saw him. Storeholder will go back deep. He's at his 45-yard line. Josh Jones ready to kick this away. Good snap this time. Jones runs, kicks, Bangs over
What a
Storeholder's
punt.
head.
Maybe he'll run it down to the 2 again.
He's going to let this one roll. It takes a big Bryan hop at the 30 and all the way inside the 10-yard line when it's done.
Wow.
Whitler was the guy that went down there and made the stop. But what a boom and kick. So we got what from the 28? That's 22 and 40, 62 yards, it looks like, by the math they taught me back down south. And it'll be first down and 10 now for the Delta offense.
6th drive for Delta. Their drives have been touchdown, fumble, punt, end of half, punt here to date.
Wow. And as you said, because we're running the ball an awful lot, that clock is moving, so there's the drives are limited tonight. So scoring is going to be limited the rest of the way. Bears need to really continue to play this defense that they've been playing all night long.
A 3-and-out right here would be huge.
Be a big plus. I agree. Beverly, the only running back now in the backfield. Storeholder on this side, looking the other way, and they will hand the ball to Beverly. He has room right up the middle of the field, 20-yard line, 22. So Beverly gets a first down as he rumbles for about 11 on a first down run. House would be the young man that made the tackle for the Golden Bears, and luckily he did because there were not many gold helmets beyond Jake House. And Jesse Beverly was really aching to take that one about 80. 5:43 and counting, third quarter. Now more of an eye look, a straight eye with 2 receivers to the top. Pitch goes to Storeholder, right corner. Bears have him locked in, and they'll drop him. 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 guys come to the football. Storeholder will get a couple. But obviously what Delta's hoping for is to get him out on that corner on that pitch, find that seam, and let him hit that 5th gear that nobody else has out on this football field and let him go racing. And the Bears were over there to make the stop.
Wow, they got a lot more yardage on that than I had them for.
Whitler comes in. Chance Taylor will check out for the Golden Bears. 5:03 to play, and you're right, Chris. They gave him almost 4 yards. Second down. Called a long 6. They go back in that T look now. Beverly in the middle. They'll hand it to him. Beverly finds some room. Left side for a couple. He'll be close to the 30 at the 29. And it'll set up a third down and about third down and 3 for the Delta Panthers. Big third down for the Bears. Boy, if they can get off the field right now, get some good field position, maybe be able to put some points on the board before this quarter's over, Chris. Who knows what happens from there, huh?
Delta now 50% from third down.
They've been pretty effective here tonight. There's no doubt about that. Beverly, the only running back in the backfield. And they'll turn and hand their big running back the ball, and he will be ahead for the first down, out across the 35 at the 36.
It's like a shoestring tackle every time he has the ball.
Well, you know, the coach, Wolford, basically said he was his muscle, and you can see why. They hand him the ball. They send him right up the middle of the field. They give him just a little bit of an opening, and he just bursts through that hole and picks up the first down. 35-yard line, first down and 10. Under 4 minutes here to go in the third quarter. Turn and hand off to him again. Bears right around those ankles and then fall all over him, but he'll still lean forward for about 3.
We got a penalty afterwards.
Probably an unsportsmanlike conduct on somebody. That one came in late.
On Bryan. Can't do that. Can't do that.
Basically had him locked down for about a 4-yard pickup. And because of the penalty, you're going to take that football and march it across the 50-yard line into Golden Bear territory and sit it down on their 46.
His mic's not working anymore, so I'm not sure what the call was, but it's obviously a personal foul 15-yarder.
Little extracurricular going on down there after the play was over. Don't know whether it was verbal or pushing or shoving or what was going on, but there was something down there. The Bears all jump at the same time. So back-to-back penalties are going to give the Delta Panthers 20 yards of free territory, and they're going to bring the ball all the way down to the 41-yard line.
Bears now have been penalized 6 times for 45 yards.
They have been playing so well and done so well
Absolutely.
Up until this point. You know, 45 yards, you say penalties?
Yep.
We had 25 yards of penalties almost through 3 quarters, and all of a sudden we double everything up. Again, that straight T look here for Delta, and a whistle before
now we
anything
should get
happens.
it back. Got a timeout somewhere on the field. Don't know what they're going to say.
Wait and see.
We have blood or something?
Delta, okay, maybe we've got somebody with equipment failure somehow, and we're sending them off the sideline. That's exactly, looks like something with Jesse Beverly is not right, whether the helmet's, he's got his helmet off, and he's heading to the bench right now. So something was not right, and the back judge saw it, whistled the play dead. So it's still 1st down and 5. Jess Beverly over on the sideline with some sort of attention here to, I believe, some gear. Get a T formation in the backfield, and they'll turn and they'll hand that football off. And heading towards the left side is number 22, Dylan Rogers, and Rogers will have enough for the 1st down as he's across the 25 to about the 24-yard line. Wagner, one of the guys on the tackle there, but the Bears all of a sudden giving up ground.
Those 2 penalties are not good. That's really coming back to bite them so far. The 10th 1st down of the evening for Delta.
Looks like we still have the same alignment, so Beverly must still be on the sideline. Handoff goes to Storeholder, and he'll sweep the right end for a short pickup, about 2.
Bears have really held him in check. He only has 8 yards.
The only time he really scared us was right there before that 1st half when he headed up to the visitor's side.
He had a 20-yard pass pickup, but running-wise, he's only got 8 yards rushing on 5 carries.
Yep. And then he came, reversed that field, and headed up the Bears sideline. And thankfully, that wall of defenders came the direction that they needed to and were able to run him down before he really got loose. Hand off to the 3rd guy, and again, it's 22. He's holding that football up in the air. Bears were trying to scoop at it, couldn't get him, and because they were trying to scoop, he was able to continue to run, and he's going to be close to the 1st down. Down inside the 25 to the 24. It's just going to be depending on where they set that ball down.
3rd down, no.
1st down and 10, I think they're going to move it or not. Or they're going to bring the chain. They'll bring the chains in to maybe measure it possibly.
They're saying
3rd down and
so
about a foot. Farrell on the tackle there for the Bears. 1:17. The clock is moving here in the 3rd quarter. Draw play to Beverly, and you know when he's on the field, they're going to give him the football. Beverly's inside the 20 at the 19. Everybody was waiting for that ball, I think, to go to Storeholder, who was the tee back on the home side. And the fullback, Beverly, basically got it on that little draw play, got the 1st down, and it will be Delta football in the 19. They may get 2 more plays off here before the quarter ends, but we're down at 51 seconds right now. Beverly, the only running back in the backfield. Wings on the top and the bottom. They'll turn and hand to Beverly, and he is stonewalled right there in the middle of the line. Good job by the Bears. Hall was the first guy. He kind of submarining underneath, and then Lucas Nye came over, wrapped him up, and made sure he wasn't going anywhere. The play will result in about a lack of a foot or so, and it'll be 2nd down and a long 10. 23 seconds down in this 3rd quarter, so time enough for at least 1 more play.
Although they don't have to snap it if they don't want to.
Yeah, they can let it go.
16 on the game clock.
Beverly again, the other running back in the backfield. Wings on both sides. Storeholder goes in motion. They will hand him the ball. He'll go off right tackle. He'll get a couple, but he'll be way short of any 1st down. It'll set up a 3rd down now and 8, but that will run the 3rd quarter to an end. We've played 3 here in Bryan. It's still 6-5. Delta Panthers on top of the Bears here on BryanSports.com.
They see.
Back at Golden Bear Stadium.
Look at the student section.
Huh? You know, this would be the normal night that you kind of would have senior night, you know, and you'd say goodbye to all the seniors. Instead, it's homecoming night here tonight. And the Bears still have homecoming festivities ahead of them here for tomorrow night. But there are quite a few seniors here still on this football team that they're going to say goodbye to here for the last time at Golden Bear Stadium. And before the night is over, we'll go through
And
I think they've
chat
got
about those guys.
the sticks marked wrong.
Ball's going to be on the roughly the 18-yard line of the Bears, 17-yard line. Third down, and they have to go down to about the 10, so it's about third down and 7.
But it's not. It doesn't look like 7 right there.
Beverly's the only running back in the backfield. Storeholder up on the Delta side. They'll hand to Beverly. He's going right side. He breaks a tackle, but that's about it. He'll get to the 25 or 15. I'm sorry. Take 10 off of that one. Down to the 15. He'll grab about 2. And it's fourth down now and about 5 here for the Delta Panthers. And they showing no signs of setting a kick. Well, are they showing the signs of it? Nope, here comes the 3 guys on the field, but I don't think it's their kick team, but maybe it is. Yes, it is. Vasquez is going to take a shot at it. Evan Vasquez has 1 field goal in the season.
He's got the wind at his back, but it's a light wind. It's less wind than there was before.
And it will be about a 32-yarder. It's going to be, as it's going to be spotted, about the 22. And with that, they're going to take a timeout because the play clock was down to 1 second. So a very good idea by Mr. Vasquez to burn that timeout because he's about to add 5 yards to this kick. So why don't we keep this one here and go down to Chris Bryce, see if Chris is down there with us, and maybe he's got some updates on some of the other NWAL scores that are out and around the area. Hey, bud.
It's Liberty Center over Archbold 28-6. Wasion beating Swanton 28-16. PH over Evergreen 28-14. Holgate getting beat by Fairview 14-6. Ayersville over Edgerton 21-0. Anthony Wayne beating Napoleon 15-7. St. Mary's over Defiance 29-12. Sandusky beating Columbia 7-0. And Hicksville over Wayne Trace 13-8. Back up to you guys.
And where's those locos at, man? You still haven't had a loco score yet tonight, huh?
Still no score, Jim.
Oh my gosh, maybe they're taking the night off. They've got that big Saturday night network game tomorrow night.
That Wasion score is amazing to me.
Ball's snapped, placed from the 22. The kick is long enough, but it's wide left. And the Bears defense comes up to the challenge as we open up the fourth quarter. They hold the Delta Panthers scoreless, and they'll get the football back now, trailing by a point 6-5 with 11-12 to play in this football game. Vasquez had enough leg on that one, Chris, but it was just hooking towards the left from the beginning. And it was hard to tell from up here whether it snuck inside that left upright or not, but the official right underneath that post was signaling no good right away, so that one must have been wide by several feet. So the Bears will take over. Football on the 20-yard line. Let's see if the Bears offense can get something going right now. Rittenhouse in the backfield. They'll send Jones in motion. Hand the ball to Rittenhouse, and he gets gobbled up as he gets back to the line of scrimmage. In fact, he'll lose about a yard. So the Bears will have a second down now and about 11. Ball just inside the 20 at about the 19 and a half. Good to see Zach Hazlett there at halftime. And it's totally amazing that, again, that he's been out of school for 5 years and he's on his way to some school that would take him in for a master's degree. It's got to be one of those online courses, wouldn't you think? Rittenhouse with the fake. Nobis keeps the football. He's around the left end. He's going to be close to the 30-yard line, very close to the first down. Nice fake by Nobis on that one, and everybody was looking for 32 to run that ball.
He lost the football down there, but I think he got it back or it went out of bounds. He's got almost it all back.
So it's third down and about a yard.
Bears 1 of 8 from third down.
I was watching 32 that whole time.
Me too.
The next thing I know, I looked up and 18's got the football and he's running towards the sticks. Third down and a yard. Let's see if the Bears can get this one. They spread everybody out. 2 to the top, 2 to the bottom. Single back in the backfield. Jones goes in motion. Belts now on the football field, and he will carry this one for the first down, plus a couple. Close to the 35-yard line. So Damon Belts powers his way ahead for the first down, and now you're bringing the big junior in, and maybe it's time to start chugging away and just clipping them off 4 and 5 yards at a pop here. 6-5. Bears trail by a point. 9:43 to go in this football game.
That's only the 6th first down for the Bears this whole game.
Blues Creek, the wide receiver right in front of us. He's all by himself here on the home side. They send 3 wide receivers to the top. Belt stays in that backfield. He's there to block right now. They're going to throw this one down the middle into traffic, and it's picked off. Vasquez has it. He's at midfield. He's into Bryan territory at the 30, the 25, the 20. He's up the sideline to the 10, cuts back to the middle of the field. He's going in for the touchdown, but as you said, Chris, there's a flag back out around the 20-yard line, and I believe it is on the Delta Panthers, but we're about to find out. If it's not, it will be a big pick six for the Panthers. If it's against the Panthers, it will be their football, but it's going to be somewhere around that 30, 35-yard line. That one thrown into double coverage, and I'm sure that Zach Novus would like to have that one back. It was a throw all the way, and he did have his receiver open early, but then double coverage came over. The safety, Vasquez, came in, saw it coming, picked it off, and a block in the back will go against Delta and sit the football on the 31-yard line.
That's helpful.
Yeah, that is helpful. That's the other thing that's been a difficulty for the Bears so far this year. For Novus now, that is his 10th interception on the season.
Yep.
And Blues Creek had he had 5 already here to the beginning, so that's 15 interceptions so far for the Bears. Turned around, handoff, and that's going to go to Storeholder. Storeholder still on his feet down to the 25-yard line. Looked like he was going to break that tackle and run it towards the sideline, but somebody got a hand on him. I think it was Hall. They brought him down after a pickup of about 6. Storeholder cut from his right to his left, and if he could have gotten away from 66, I think he had some free ground along that sideline. That's where he was heading. 8:43 and counting to go in the ball game. Straight T formation. Handoff goes to the back 22, Dylan Rogers. And Rogers will be very close to the first down. Rogers, the halfback on the right, on the home side. They put Beverly at the fullback spot in the middle, and Storeholder generally goes to the left when they line up in that T, and they're going right back in that T again. So it's Rogers, Beverly, Storeholder. Parsons under center. Parsons turns, hands it to Beverly, and he'll be close. That Rogers, in fact, is 20. That was Beverly. Beverly did get the first down at the 20. Farrell makes the tackle for the Bears, but not before Beverly gets the first down at the 20-yard line. It would be first down at 10. 8:02 to play now in the ball game. Bears really need to keep the Delta Panthers out of that end zone right now, Chris.
Yes, they do.
Although, 6 and an extra point makes it 13-5, and a touchdown and a 2-point conversion ties it back up. So
it's been an exciting game.
Has been.
Good defensive battle.
Wing look now as you've got Bailey on this side. Hand her off to big number
Beverly.
24, Beverly, and Beverly has a couple off the left side. Vasquez, not a very big guy, who's out there blocking. He kind of came off that ground pretty soft. Somebody crumpled him up. They listed him down at 5'1", and I was waiting to see whether he really was 5'1", and when you look at the sideline, he really is 5'1", about 145 pounds. He's over with a little cramp, it looks like, in that left leg right now. Second down and about 7 for the Delta Panthers. Handoff, Storeholder, around the right corner. He's got one guy to beat at the 10, 5, he'll be in. That one was almost not fair. Garza was the young guy that was back there all by himself, one-on-one at the 5-yard line. And Bailey Storeholder with a whole bunch of speed heading towards that goal line on that sweep, and no other person to help you. Little juke step, and that's all he needed. He was around the corner and in the end zone, and just like that, it's 12-5.
Play was 5 plays, 31 yards, 2 minutes, and 11 seconds.
Well, let's see what the Bears have up their sleeves here. You take a look at this. Vasquez kick is good. This one just snuck in the left upright, and it'll make it 13-5 now with 6:59 to play in the ball game. We'll step away here on BryanSports.com.
Back out at Golden Bear Stadium, 13-5. Delta just scored on a 17-yard run by Storeholder. Bears will get the ball back with 6 minutes and 59 seconds to play. And they need a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie things up.
Well, I'll tell you what, that one just was a tough one, Chris. You know, again, you go back to that interception all year long. It's been those kind of things. I made that comment the other day. This defense has not really played all that poorly. When you think of 15 interceptions, a couple of penalties, and a couple of fumbles, as Jones collects this with the 20 and keeps running up the Delta sideline where he's hit at the 25, you've given the opposition the ball deep in their territory way too many times and put an awful lot of pressure on a defense that's only allowing 24 points a night, and tonight only 13 to a Delta team here this evening. So you're really talking 3 touchdowns a night for a defense, and you got to believe that at least one of those touchdowns you've got to credit to the offense on a turnover. You've got a football team on the defensive side of the ball that's only giving up 13, 14 points a night. When you start to get that offense in gear, this is going to be a football team that can win some games as long as that defense continues to play this way. Empty set look now in the backfield. They're going to throw this ball. Nobis is going to run it right up the middle of the field, 25-yard line. He'll hook slide at the 27-yard line, picks up a couple.
Picked up a 3 on that one, Jim.
So Nobis,
18 yards for him rushing.
You know, as he gets a little more mature and gets a little more comfortable back there, and he's gotten much better. I mean, just the way that he runs from the sideline back and forth anymore. At the earlier stages of the year, you kind of saw him running and like, oh man, I got to go do this again. Now he runs out there like, oh man, let's go get this thing done. So I'll tell you what, there's been some progress in this football team this year. Again, empty look, and Novus is going to run this one again. He spins. He'll be out to the 29-yard line. He'll get another yard, maybe 2, and it'll be set up a 3rd down and call it a short 5. 6 minutes even to play in the football game.
If he had a little bit of time, Rummel was on the left side, was pretty wide open.
That's the one thing, again, that he still has to – he's still not up to speed to be able to sit and read that defense. He reads it a little slow. Same reason for that interception a few minutes ago. He just was a little slow picking out the guy that he wanted to throw to and letting the ball go. Once he gets that decision-making down, it's going to be a whole lot of fun. Next year is going to be a fun year to watch. Man goes in motion. Nobis will roll towards the home side. And he's going to throw this ball into the flats to Rummel. He's got him. Out across the 35, close to the 40-yard line. He'll step out of bounds.
And there might be a late hit out of bounds after that.
And I think Beverly is going to be the guy that's going to get called for that. And I'll tell you, when you look at it, where he was tackled, Beverly actually tackled him into the bench. So he made the tackle in the initial hit, obviously out of bounds in the mind of the official. And I'm not sure that he just didn't lose track of where he was on the football field. So that's a tough call, basically, but it's going to go going to go for the Bears here for a change, and it will be marched off from the 39-yard line, and will get the Bears into Delta territory.
80 yards on 7 penalties for Delta.
Both teams have had a little bit of a penalty bug, but the Bears have not done as poorly tonight as they have in the past.
6 for 45 there, Jim.
Gotta love that, Chris, huh? 5:22. Game clock is stopped. Bears have the ball on the Delta 46-yard line. And as we just speculated a minute ago, Chris, a touchdown and a 2-point conversion ties this thing up. Single back in the backfield. Rittenhouse. They're going to roll towards the right. Throw the ball down the field. This one just going to be thrown away. And a great decision. Right there was a good decision by young Mr. Novus. Nobody was open. He had the pressure coming from the backside. He threw the football away rather than taking a 10-yard loss. When he starts to be able to see that on a regular basis, bingo, this thing's going to start to click. Double and triple coverage all the way up the field on the visiting side. That's where the route was going, and he had nobody open. So as soon as he realized that, he didn't waste any time. He just got rid of the ball, and it was one step later he was on the grass.
Yep.
2nd down and 10, 5:15, clock stop. 4th quarter. Triples go to the top. Rittenhouse, the only running back. He's to the left of Zach Novus in the backfield. Novus drops. He's got pressure coming. Throws it out to the flat, and it's going to be overthrown. He had Josh Jones over there up around the 34-yard line. Jones had some double coverage. Ball was thrown only where Jones could get to it, and it was incomplete. Clock stops at 5:09. 3rd down and 10. Now you've got an interesting decision, too, Chris, if you don't get this first down.
You got to go for it, right?
46-yard line. You've got all your timeouts, okay? If you've got 5 minutes to play the way your defense has played so far, if you give them the football at the 45, you give them a short field, you know?
I tell you what, I think Delta can move the ball where if you give them it on the 45 or the 5.
Okay. Rittenhouse the only back in the backfield. Trips to the top, singles to the bottom. Nova's going to drop and pass. He's got some time. Now he's going to run out of time. Going to throw on the run. He's got his guy. That's Blues Creek. Creek will be up the field for about 4 and step out of bounds, but it will set up now a 4th down at about 6.
I think you go.
4th down and about 6. Ball on the 42. Bears have to get down to the 36 and a quarter. So just under 6 yards to get this first down.
They wanted 2 on 4th down going into this play.
Creek and Peters will go to the top. Bears have Rittenhouse in the backfield along with Novus. Jones down here in the slot, and they're going to hand the ball off to Rittenhouse on the draw, and he will be short as he crosses the 40-yard line to the 39. Just one guy there that really sniffed that one out. And unfortunately for the Bears, that's all it took.
I'm not a huge fan of the call.
43 I don't have even in my roster at this point in time for those guys, but did a nice job to stop the Bears a couple yards short, and they will turn the ball over with 4:56 to play in the ball game. Right at the 40-yard line of the Delta Panthers. Here's where the defense now needs a 3 and out.
Yep, absolutely.
No, Parsons will go under center. He'll go with that 3-back look. Beverly Rogers, and they will hand that ball to Storeholder. And Storeholder, as he makes the cut, gets wrapped up and dropped by Goodspeed right at the line of scrimmage. So they're trying to get to the speed man, and he can't get around the corner. Goodspeed started on that offensive line early in the ball game in this season this year, if you remember, and 59 kind of got called for a couple of times where he liked to use his hands down there in that trenches. So Coach Redhead, I think, decided that maybe the best spot for Mr. Goodspeed was put him on the other side. It did a nice job right there to make that tackle for no gain. 2nd down now and 10. 2 running backs in the backfield. They'll hand the ball to Beverly. Beverly has the pile moving forward at the 45, and he's all the way to the 46. 3rd down now, about 4. Bears have all kinds of people on the bottom of that pile, but I think the first guy that you're going to say coming up is Jake Kuba.
That puts Beverly over the century mark, Jim. He's got 103 yards.
Well, not a bad night for Mr. Beverly. Beverly on the season this year is at 92 yards a game, so he's right on his average for the year.
Bears need a stop right here.
3rd down and 4. Again, that single running back, that's Beverly. They'll turn and hand it to him, and Beverly will be stiff-armed right there. Stood up and dropped for no gain.
Timeout, Bears. Need a timeout. Maybe
Brent
not.
Hall, the very first guy to make that contact inside, and then Lucas Nye and several other Golden Bears jumped on the pile. 4th down and 4. And they will bring Richard in to kick this thing away. And now you do need to watch. A little different look. They've got 3 protectors here in the middle. Good kick by Richards. Josh Jones waiting for it at the 15. Drops back to the 12. Got it to the Delta sideline at the 20. Lowers his shoulder at the 24 and steps out of bounds. Bears football at the 25-yard line. 3:01 to play. All 3 timeouts. Trailing 13-5 here in the 4th quarter. Well, I'll tell you what, if nothing else, this has been an exciting football game and a great way to end this season at home. And it'd be better if they could figure out a way to march this thing down the field 75 yards and knock this thing in, get the 2-point conversion, and try to find a way to win it in OT, huh?
Yep.
Well, with the way that we kick the onside kicks, let's just make this thing happen in a hurry.
That's what I'm saying.
And take it home with in regulation, huh? Is that a better idea?
That's a better idea. I'm a big fan of the regulation.
Rittenhouse again to the running back in the backfield. Novus looking to throw in the flats. He's got his guy, and that's Rummel, and Rummel let it get through his hands and hit the grass here.
That's okay.
Old Bear Stadium.
Stop the clock.
Wasn't going to go very far.
Yeah, he was going to get tackled after about a yard pickup.
Ron Vargas right there on the coverage, 19.
Well, they got to look as the guy streaking across in the flat. Right across the center of the defense. He's wide open.
Nobis comes in from the sideline after chatting with Coach Redhead for a minute. 2:56 now to go in the ball game. Second down and 10. Bears on the 25, their own 25. Snap, handoff, Rittenhouse. Oh, my goodness, there's Delta Panthers all over the place in the backfield, and Rittenhouse will go down for a loss of a couple. Guess what? Big number 66. We haven't called his number an awful lot all night long, but Chance Viller that time was able to get around that offensive lineman that had him on his right tackle spot and was standing there waiting for the running back for the 2-yard loss.
Clock at 2:30 and counting.
Clock is moving too at 2:30. Bears do have 3 timeouts. Going into the wind right now, although as Chris said a little while ago, the wind is lightened up quite a bit. Nobis drops. He has some time looking for a receiver. He's got him. That's Jones, and Jones has the football. He'll be out of bounds at the 29-yard line. They'll be 5 yards shy, and it'll be 4th down now and 5 for the Bears. That will stop the clock at 2:11. And it's 4th down at about 5.5. Big play of the evening right here, Chris.
Yep.
First down keeps things going and keeps everybody's hopes alive. Mr. Zach Hazlett getting up, and he's heading down to the luxury boxes, I'm sure, here. Along with all of his classmates. There's a whole contingent, a whole row full of kids. Whistle and a flag before everything gets going. And
how about the late hit out? There you go.
There's a late hit on Viller. The whistle had blown. I think they might offset because it's probably going to be a procedure call against the Bears, but then you've got a dead ball foul against Viller.
I think you march them both off, and it's going to net out 10 yards. Can't offset penalties that don't offset, do you?
They would if the play was live. I'm not sure exactly how it is with the dead ball situation. The procedure call will go against the Bears.
I think they're going to
march. So that's why they're going to march them both off, because the procedure call was a live play. Then after the whistle had blown, everything was dead. We've got a late hit on Viller.
Yep.
And then that walk-off will give the Bears a first down out at the 40-yard line. If that would have been just a holding call and a procedure call, then we'd offset everything. But it was a live ball and a dead ball call. And because of the call, the second call that way, the Bears all of a sudden have new life.
95 yards in penalties for Delta, just on defense.
First down and 10. It was 4th down and 6, and was looking pretty bleak about 2 seconds ago. Nobis calls his own number. He'll head right up the middle of the field, and he has a couple out to the 43-yard line. Bears still waiting for that center of that line to just kind of open up and let Zach run through for 15 or 20. But there always seems to be somebody in a white shirt there just waiting for that whole thing.
They're going to take a timeout here.
2 minutes to go in the ball game. We'll step away 2. It's 13-5. Bears trail by 8 here on BryanSports.com.
We're back. Band playing. 2 minutes left. 4th quarter. Bears driving. Do they have it in them?
I don't know. We'll find out, won't we, huh?
Yep.
Golden Bears with an opportunity here to just maybe sneak one out on homecoming this evening. Either way, they played extremely well tonight, and everybody that's here has to be encouraged by the effort that these guys have put forth tonight on this Friday night, and let's hope that maybe they'll get rewarded tonight for a big homecoming win. Yet with 2 minutes to go in the ball game.
They say there are no moral victories, but this is a moral victory if there ever was such a thing.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Rittenhouse, the only guy in the backfield. 3 wide receivers to the top. Nova's going to throw it deep down the middle. He's got his guys. Jones, 30, inside the 25, out of bounds, down around the 21-yard line.
Wow, so
43 is 7, and 2019, 27.
I can't do the math. 27?
How about 27 yards? 37. How about 37 yards?
I'll take it.
There we go. We'll add them up a little quicker there. Yeah, this starting new math is tough on a little guy, isn't it? Huh? Minute 50 to play. They stopped the clock. They just flooded that top zone. 2 Bears out there to 1 guy to cover him, and Josh Jones able to pull that one in. This one goes down to the flat to Rumble, and Rumble drops the football. Again, some pretty good coverage as Beverly was coming up to make the tackle, but if Rummel could have pulled that in, at least he would have had a couple of yards. Been able to step up the football field a couple of feet, but he's dropped 2 of them in a row now. Stops the clock, minute and 46 to play. Bears down by 8, but they have the football inside the 25-yard line of Delta, and they're driving thanks to a big personal foul penalty on Delta on a 4th down and 5, and then an even bigger connection between Zach Novus and Josh Jones.
We need that play again.
We really do. Single receiver to the top. That's Peters. Novus looking the other way. He's hit as he throws. This one's floating in the air, and everybody couldn't find that one. Rummel and Beverly, both the 24s, were looking for the football. Novus got clobbered just as he let go of that ball. It went up in the air, heading towards the 224s, down around the 20-yard line, but neither one of these guys could find the football. Fell right behind him.
Here's why I like the college game. There's more officials there.
Mm-hmm.
The official's watching downfield to see the pass. What he didn't see was there was a late hit or a roughing the passer as that ball got hit. He went right into him after the ball was released. Stripped him at his arm.
3rd down now and 10. 3 receivers to the bottom. Novus drops and he has time. Throws it across the middle, but it's intercepted. Boy, he threw it right to Richard, right in the center of the football field, and Richard will run it up to the 35-yard line and step out of bounds. We have penalties down around the 30, but that's probably going to do it.
Oh, maybe there's a penalty on Delta. I don't know if that would change things.
Well, I think the penalty is on the return, though. The unfortunate part, I believe, unless it's going to be an interference penalty, it's not going to do us any good. I believe it was a block probably in the back or a hold up around the 25-yard line. They have the ball marked at the 30 right now, and the penalty flag right there. So a holding call against the Delta Panthers, or a block in the back. And they were going to take them backwards now, but unfortunately, it is post-possession, and Delta will have the football. And the Bears will need a big break. They have 2 timeouts left with 1:29 to go in this ball game. Ball will go inside the 20, just barely inside, to sit with the nose of the ball on the 20 and the tail of the ball on the inside of the 20, so call it right on the 20-yard line. 1st down and 10 for Delta, and they just have to run the clock out. 1:29 to go, but the Bears do have 2 timeouts, so they have a little bit of say-so in this thing yet, and they could really use a turnover. They'll go to the T-look again. Beverly will be the guy in the middle. Storehold will be the running back up on the Delta side, and they'll turn around and give it to old Mr. Faithful Beverly, and he breaks through. He's at the 30. And he stumbles his way out of bounds at the 35. And I'll tell you what, if he could have kept his feet there, he was on his way to an 80-yard touchdown score. Nice job by the Bears to at least get an arm down around those legs and trip him up. It will be a 1st down as he picks up 15.
35-yard line of Delta, 1st and 10.
And we now are down to 1:22, and people are starting now to get up and head towards their automobiles. But hey, crazy things happen in ball games like this.
Nice big fumble would be great right about now.
Beverly's the fullback in the middle, and they'll hand him the ball, and they're going to jump all over him. Good job by the Bears to stop Beverly for a yard loss, ripping at the football. They'll call a timeout. That was Hausch, the first guy through, 21, and they were clawing at that football. Good speed on the bottom of the pile.
And we'll take the timeout with them if we did indeed call a timeout.
Timeout on the field. We'll take the timeout. $1:17 left to go in the game. 13-5. Bears trail by 8 here on BryanSports.com. Back at Golden Bear Stadium, you can see the band still revved up. They're trying to get some good things happening down on that sideline. Well, I'll tell you what, a nice strip and a pickup and a return for a touchdown would do this old guy's heart some good right now. Probably lower my cholesterol by about 3 or 4 points too, wouldn't you think? 1:17 to go in the football game. It's 2nd down and 11 now for Delta. Storeholder again, the back to the top. Got to believe that the guy in the middle is probably going to get it. Beverly again, their workhorse. Parsons goes under center. He'll turn, hand it to Beverly, and Beverly will be stonewalled right there at the line of scrimmage. He'll lean forward for that yard that he lost on the last run, and the Bears will call their final timeout of the night with 1:11 to play. 3rd down now and 10. As Coach Miner goes out and chat with these guys, why don't we just keep this one here and thank the folks that have been bringing the ball games to you all year long. Whelan's Automotive, Tompkinson BMW, the Plaza Motel, Oberlin Turnbull Funeral Home and Crematory, Northwest State Community College, Krill Funeral Home, Genesis Healthcare Bryan Center, Bryan Municipal Utilities, Bryan Ford Lincoln, and the Bryan Athletic Boosters. In fact, I've got a new shirt, a Bryan Strong shirt coming, and I'll have that on as we go to Patrick Henry next week. So, you know, I'll just kind of be flaunting my new purple shirt. It says Bryan Strong on it. But if you want to, there are plenty of those out there. Hoodies, sweatshirts, T-shirts, all kinds of things that have Bryan Strong on it. Part of the Bryan Athletic Boosters membership drive, and you'll want to look into that. Here we go, 3rd down, 9 yards to go for Delta. Beverly, the only running back in the backfield. They'll bring a guy in motion. They'll hand it off on the jet sweep. That's Storeholder, and Storeholder will turn the corner, try to plant his feet, and slip and fall after he gets about 2 yards.
I don't know that he didn't go down on his own, like he was trying to kill the clock.
So with 4th down now and about 7, they're going to kick this football away, I believe. The play clock is at 25 on the nose right now. The game clock at 52.2.
Which means the Bears will get back with about 25 seconds.
Officials chat things away here on the sideline now with the Golden Bears. I'm not sure whether they were going to ask to move that clock a little bit yet or not, but they've now gotten everything organized. And Delta has their punt team on the field. Richard back in punt formation.
Wait, now it's got 5.9 seconds. That's not right.
And I'm sure we're going to have to rearrange something right now.
59 seconds.
So we are at 59 seconds as we wind the play clock up. And Delta, I'm sure, will allow this thing to roll at least 25.
Don't jump off sides, boys.
They might even take the delay of game penalty right now to just make sure they run all 25 seconds. Richard is really not doing anything other than putting his one finger up, so I think he wants the ball with 1 on that play clock, and we're at 4. In fact, he got it at 3. Kicks this one. It's a short kick. And it bounces and takes a Delta bounce inside the 25 down to the 22.
That's bogus.
And I think maybe we get a roughing the kicker call, maybe,
I don't know.
Or running
It
into the
didn't
kicker.
even look like it hit the kicker. I'd love to see that again because it didn't look like anywhere near.
The ball will be Bryan's maybe down on the 24-yard line, 23-yard line.
There's a flag on either end.
Yep, there's a flag at the 29-yard line of the Bears and the 29-yard line of the Delta Panthers right now as we try to figure this out. Yep, and they had gone away from the kick, but I will find out if it was running into the kicker call possibly.
I don't know. And not having the mic, I don't know what the deal is. His mic's not been working the second half.
The running into the kicker penalty is only a 5-yard penalty if that's all it is. So that would set up a 4th down and they would get to kick it again.
Hold on them. Personal foul on us. They offset.
Okay.
So they're going to kick it again.
Okay, there you go. So both plays again with the clock running, so they will offset, and they'll have to kick this football again. Now with 26 seconds left to go in the football game. And we'll move back to the 40 or 37-yard line again to kick this thing away.
I was hoping that wasn't going to be a roughing or running in the kicker. He wasn't even near the kicker.
Yeah, I moved my head away, and I wasn't sure there was somebody close.
Yeah, it was close.
And there was a flag back there, so it was a holding call basically on Delta back there.
I think the guy that was protecting the kicker was holding.
Mm-hmm. Josh Jones will stand at his 27-yard line. Again, Richard's going to kick this one away. Big boomer, and Josh will have to retreat all the way back to the 15 to pick it up on the bounce. He'll hit the Delta sideline across the 25, and he'll step out somewhere around the 26. And they're going to say right at the 25-yard line. So the Bears are out of timeouts. They have 15.6 seconds left to go in the ball game.
Let's get ready for the loop-de-loopy tossy-toss play. Do they run that one in practice still?
I wouldn't doubt it. I've not seen him do anything razzle-dazzle-ish here in the entire year. But you do have all the guys out there right now. You're right. Blues Creek coming out right in front of us. Josh Jones is in the slot. Color is the wide guy. Then it's Creek and Color and Jones. And they'll throw this ball down to Jones at the 40, and he'll step out of bounds. Stop the clock with 9 seconds. Right around 9 seconds to go. Jones will pick up 15. And the clock at 8.4 seconds to play in this football game. And you got to believe maybe a little hook and ladder coming up after that one. Delta defense kind of mingling around. The Bears need to find something. They're going to drop everybody deep. You can bet that their defensive backs are going to back off. Right now they've only got about a 5-yard cushion, 10-yard cushion, but you'd think they would move them back a little bit farther. Vasquez getting some folks to go backwards a little bit. Doubles on the home side, triples to the top, nobody in the backfield. Toss down the left sideline. He's got Color, and it's tipped away at the last second and out of bounds. Storeholder got a handle on it down around the 30-yard line. Color had gotten behind Storeholder, and if that ball would have gotten out there a little quicker, that one could have been the one we were looking for.
Yep. Unfortunately, he was close to the sideline, and he may not have caught it in bounds.
So it is now 2.8 seconds. That's all that's left in this football game. Bears have the football on their 40-yard line, and they will need a miracle if they're going to pull this one out this evening. Hey, we've seen a couple of miracles here at Golden Bear Stadium.
Looking for the 60-yard touchdown pass right now.
Creek's is Creek's the very first receiver to the top. Peters in the slot up there. Ball goes to the center, and it's over the hands of Creek.
Oh, there's a penalty. Cannon on a defensive penalty. So
short of Peters.
Cannon on a defensive penalty. So if it's a defensive penalty, they'll have one more.
Flag is on the ground. Let's just see what we have.
It's on us.
Going to go against the Bears.
So that'll do it.
And that will end the football game tonight. The Bears are going to lose a tough one tonight, man. They played hard.
Absolutely.
They're in the ball game all night long, and they fall tonight 13-5 to the Delta Panthers. We're going to take a timeout. We'll come back, get you all caught up on the area scores, and get you some final stats and head you home for your homecoming weekend here on BryanSports.com.
Heartbreaker at Golden Bears Stadium as the Bryan Golden Bears go down to defeat 13-5 here on BMU Sports. Chris Malega and Jim Funderburg, and Jim, just a tough loss for Bryan tonight.
Well, I'll tell you what, we've said it a couple of times tonight, and I will say it one more time. They played hard tonight. They fought really hard tonight. I was expecting a ball game that was really going to be a little bit lopsided because I thought Delta was going to come in tonight and be fired up and ready to play, and they were fired up and ready to play. The good news was the Bears were fired up and ready to play tonight, too, and they played extremely hard. Again, a night where they couldn't get a touchdown scored on the offensive side. Field goal and a safety is all they were able to muster. And again, for the entire year now, they have had a real difficult time scoring points on the season. In fact, with the 5 tonight, they've scored 53 points now in 8 games. So they're down under 7 points a game, not even scoring a touchdown a game. But again, a young offense that's trying to find their way, and they moved the ball at times tonight, and then a couple of bad turnovers made all the difference here this evening for the Golden Bears, as they weren't able to make everything work. You want to do stats, or you want to get Christopher on the line here now?
Let's do some stats. 13-5 your score. Bryan had 9 first downs, 5 by rush, 2 by pass, 2 by penalty. Delta had 13 first downs, 9 by rush, 3 by pass, 1 by penalty. Bryan had 70 yards rushing on 31 attempts. Their long was 23 yards. Delta, meanwhile, had 185 yards on 45 attempts. Their long was 16. Zach Nobis was 7 of 19 for 107 yards. He actually had 2 interceptions. Delta was 3 of 5 for 47 yards, no interceptions. Bryan ran 52 offensive plays. Delta ran 54. Total yards, 177 for Bryan, 232 for Delta. Time of possession, 21-14 for Bryan, 25-22 for Delta. Bryan was 3 of 12, just 25% from third down, 6 of 11 for Delta on third down, that's 54%. Bryan was 1 of 4 on fourth down, Delta 0 of 1 on fourth down. Bryan scored the only time they were in the red zone. Delta was 1 for 2 in the red zone. and they were penalized a lot. Bryan was penalized 7 times for 50 yards. Delta 8 times for 95 yards. The scoring by quarters, the end of the first quarter was 6-2. End of the second quarter, 6-5. It would remain that way until the fourth quarter when Delta took the lead to make it 13-5. Bryan's drives. Bryan had 10 drives. Their drives went in order: punt, and after that second punt was the safety that they got. Field goal. Then they had a fumble. It was a bad snap. Punt, interception, turnover on downs, interception, and then the drive that ended the game. They scored with, right at the beginning of the second quarter on that safety. They had punt the ball. They had finished the drive. The drive was a 3-play, 3-yard drive, 2 minutes, 17 seconds. They punted the ball away. The Delta player, what was his name again?
Storeholder.
Yep. Caught the ball at the 2, ran it into the end zone, got tackled. That made it a safety. So the Bears got it back. And then on that ensuing drive, they went 12 plays, 50 yards in 6 minutes, 7 seconds, and Jones got the 22-yard field goal. Delta had 9 drives: touchdown, fumble, punt, end of half, punt, missed field goal, touchdown, punt. And their scoring came with first quarter, 2 minutes, 26 seconds left. Parsons, they had that 15-play, 74-yard drive that took 7 minutes and 47 seconds. Block point after that made it 6-0. Then in the fourth quarter, they had a 5-play, 31-yard drive. It was actually set up by a Bryan turnover. They went 31 yards in 5 plays, 2 minutes, 11 seconds. Storeholder had that 17-yard touchdown run. The PAT was good. That made it 13-5. Let's look at some individual statistics. Bryan was led by Rittenhouse, coming back off injury, 70 yards on 17 carries. We also had Zach Nobis, who took the ball 7 times for 23 yards. Damon Belts carried the ball a couple of times for 9 yards. Passing, Zach Nobis was 7 of 20 for 35%. He had 2 interceptions. His long pass was 37 yards. Jones, his favorite receiver, 4 catches for 80 yards. Creek had 2 catches for 19 yards. Looking at Delta leading rusher was Jesse Beverly. He had 119 yards rushing on 25 carries. The next leading rusher was Storeholder with 35 yards on 10 carries. Parsons was 3 of 5 for 47 yards, 60% passing. He threw to Richard for 27 yards and Storeholder for 20 yards. There you go.
Wow. Well, it was an interesting football game tonight, and the Bears were in it all the way. The last 2 weeks of the football season, the Bears obviously go to Patrick Henry next week, and they will head to LC. PH 2 weeks in a row. LC, your favorite spot.
2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, your absolutely favorite spot is to go to LC. They'll wrap everything up there in 2 weeks. Archibald will be at Delta next week. Delta then ends their season at Swanton the final week, and that will be an interesting contest there in week number 10. Chris Bryce, where are you at, man? Let's see where the other scores are around the conference tonight. The last time we heard Swanton was defeating Wauseon, and there were some other interesting scores that were out there. So why don't we check in with Big Chris and see where those ball games are right now.
All right, Jim, we got a few finals out there tonight. It's Liberty Center over Archibald, 35-13.
So Liberty beats Archibald 35-13.
And the big win, I think, tonight is Wauseon over Swanton, 41-23.
Wow, Wauseon gets Swanton tonight, 41-23. That's a surprise.
That is a surprise.
It is Patrick Henry over Evergreen with 3:30 left in the fourth, and that's 48. Patrick Henry 48, Evergreen 22.
So PH wins 48-22 over Evergreen tonight, huh?
Winning.
Yeah, they're winning. There's still 3:30 left in that one. Last I knew, it was the Montpelier Mighty Locomotives.
There you go. Now that's the one we've been waiting on all night long, man.
Over Hilltop, 45-22.
Oh man, there you go. Loco Madness there, Christopher. How's that? Loco Madness.
Fairview over Holgate, 14-6. That's not final yet. Ayersville over Edgerton, 35-6. That's a final. Napoleon over Anthony Wayne, 18-15. That's a final. St. Mary's over Defiance, 50-12. That's a final.
50-12.
Wow.
Yeah, Defiance has had a tough year.
Tough couple of years for the big Bulldogs.
Sandusky over Columbia, 10-7. That's a final. And this one's still in the fourth. It is Hicksville over Wayne Trace, 29-22. And that's in the fourth. And that's all I've got.
Fantastic. As always, Christopher Bryce doing a great job for us down there in the bus, keeping an eye on all the scores around the area. And I'll tell you, the surprise, I think, tonight, Chris, was that Wauseon win. I'll tell you what, I would not have really, if I were you and I were going to sit down and bet one of these cupcakes that we've been eating all night long, I don't think I'd have been betting on the team that won that one. So Wauseon with the surprise tonight, knocking Swanton from the undefeated here this evening with that big win. So, interesting ball game for them. Well, I think we're down to just thanking the sponsors one last time, tipping our hats to the folks that helped us make this all happen here tonight, and we're going to get our way out of here. This is our last ball game this year in Bryan. And a big thank you tonight to Whelan's Automotive Dealership Quality at Aftermarket Pricing, Tompkinson BMW, home of the ultimate driving machine, the Plaza Motel, your home away from home, and don't forget to like us on Facebook. Oberlin Turnbull Funeral Home and Crematory, all types of service for all types of people. Northwest State Community College, helping you take that next step to a new job or a new career. Krill Funeral Home, commitment to service is our #1 priority. Genesis Healthcare, Bryan Center, where your friends, your family, and your neighbors. Bryan Municipal Utilities, your local cable and high-speed internet provider. Bryan Ford Lincoln, we're just down the road from high prices. And the Bryan Athletic Boosters, always backing our athletes. Good luck, Bears, all season long.
I want to thank Teresa Kuzma and Mukru for all season long. Helping us out, providing all the food and all the hospitality up here in the press box. So thank you guys.
No doubt about that. And as always, they treat us really well around here. They feed us really well, and it's one of the nicest places you could do a football game from that we do football games from, and it doesn't matter whether it's regular season or postseason. This is just a great facility here at Golden Bear Stadium. Big thank you also to Big Eric Herman, directing everything down to the bus. Edna Clark, Chris Bryce, and Sam Clark were our production assistants here this evening. Aaron Gilbert on camera. Shar Miller and Greg Lavoie also manning the cameras. And I think the big work tonight, Aaron Gilbert down on the field where he froze these pretty little Pittsburgh Steelers tootsies off all night long. And I feel so sorry for the young man having to be down there and work that way. We're going to be back next week. It's a 7 o'clock ball game at Patrick Henry. Until then, for Chris Malinga, I'm Jim Funderburg. Have a great week. We'll talk to you next week on BryanSports.com.